And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, which is right here with me, live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, is there a brand new virus coming from China yet again, the same way it did allegedly back during C-19? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got to talk about the young Kansas City Chiefs fan who was accused of racism, blackface, appropriating native culture. There's a twist when it comes to an update on that story. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Southwest Airlines passenger who decided to open the emergency hatch, hop out of the plane, and get on the wing of the plane. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. I also have a picture of the guy on the wing. This guy was literally standing on the wing of the plane. Now, luckily, they were not up in the sky, obviously. If he did that up in the sky, it'd be a whole different story. But Disneyland, California, Anaheim, what's going on? Is it the happiest place on earth or the nastiest place on earth, the freakiest place on earth, the weirdest place on earth? Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson trying to blame MAGA country for the migrant crisis. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here tonight. I could not do this show without you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to you guys on the YouTube. Shout out to you guys on the Facebook. Thank y'all for joining. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Now, we got a lot to get into. Somebody says that doors don't open during flight. Doors don't open when you way up in the air, if you like above 10,000 feet. But if you are close to the ground, the door can't open. Remember that one guy that was, quote unquote, tinkering with the door? I think that might have been somewhere in Asia. Could have been in Korea somewhere. Talking about he's tinkering. Tinkering? Ain't gonna be no tinkering with the door going on, sir. You're gonna sit over there and stop touching the door while we're up in the air or at any time during the flight. And if you don't want to stop touching that door, we're gonna have a wrestling match. We're gonna have an impromptu wrestling match right here. No WWE. This ain't gonna be scripted. This ain't gonna be just invisible hits. We're going to be full contact, MMA, Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever you want, because I'm not going out without a fight. I guarantee you that. But we got a lot to get into tonight. And again, I thank y'all for joining. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing in general, if you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And before I get into anything, shout out to the sponsors, of course. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will be in the description, or just visit in your browser, patriotpost.us. Tell them ABL sent you. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY. The letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and I'll have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, you can find more about the subject, full and complete videos without my commentary, links from left, right, center, politically agnostic, local, international, national, whatever you want. Everything will be right there on AnthonyBLogan.com. Go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. to find my email address, my snail mail address. All that good stuff will be right there on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com. You can also find my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not going to call it X, Everything will be right there. Now, I gotta show you guys this video if I can find it right quick. I gotta find this video because this right here, y'all know how I always do my disclaimer about don't get scammed. Anybody got time for that in 2023, going into 2024? We're not gonna do that. Okay. I'm gonna give my disclaimer, and then I'm gonna get into a video about this kind of scamming thing, and then we're gonna get into quite a few videos that I have for you guys that I've not shown yet on my regular weekly videos. But here's how the scam works on YouTube and also throughout the internet with this kind of content, with creator content. What'll happen is I'll post a new video, and then one of you guys will comment on the video, and then you'll get a reply to your comment, and then the person who replied to you has a picture that looks like my picture. They might have stole my picture and used it as theirs, and then they'll have a name that looks like mine. It might even be my name, but it's not me. And then they'll say, hey, my friend, can you respond to this email, huh? Respond to the email. You get some money. You get some Bitcoin, some foreign exchange, huh? Some Forex. You get some Forex, my friend. Well, there's a couple clues there. First of all, I don't sound like that normally. Maybe I'm doing an accent or something, but that's not how I talk, number one. And number two, I don't know anything about Bitcoin, Forex, or anything like that. And number three, I'm not going to reply to one of you guys' comments and solicit some money in any kind of way. So, my friend, that's not me, huh? That's not me. Idiots. Stop being scammed, huh? That's not me. Now, I got a video for you guys of how this whole kind of thing plays out in the real world, because this is the reason why I always give the disclaimer. I get emails from people. I can do the disclaimer every day. Doesn't matter. I still get emails. Say, Anthony, man, I thought it was you. I trusted you, and I gave you some money. Don't give anybody any money, okay? If you want to donate to me specifically, you want to help the cause, there's links right here on YouTube. I mean, right here in the chat section. See where you guys are chatting? There's stuff built into the actual video itself. Don't go send money to Nigerian scammer 007@gmail.com and then say that it's me that made it happen. And my email address is very easy to remember. It's on my contact page. If you want to cross-reference, it's contact@anthonyblogan.com. And if you're ever wondering if it's the wrong email, the right email, just copy and paste straight from my website. It's easy. Excuse me. But here's a video that I want to show you guys. Then we're going to keep on rocking. And there might be a little bit of cursing, so please pardon the cursing. Don't blame me, blame the black man. All right, let's check it.
This man 200. I scammed this man 200 times. No over exaggeration. 200 times. Like,
now, if you're getting scammed by a regular African American, come on, man. At least get scammed by somebody in Africa, preferably somebody in Lagos, Nigeria. A regular African American from Chicago or somewhere. I mean, come on, man. Really? Really? Is that what we're going to do? But let's continue.
For 2 years straight, he lost his job. His wife divorced him. Like, bro, this shit real, bro. Like, this shit is really real. This man lost his wife. He down there trying to slit his, he went to the hospital and sent me a picture of him trying to slice his arm, bro. Because I'm taking all his cash, bro. I'm telling him I work for the IRS. You done sent me $20,000 already. The IRS is investigating this. I got his social, so every time I block him for 2 weeks. Soon as he get paid, I'll call him. Like, the IRS just called me and they said it's $2,500 in your bank account. Leave work right now and send me that, or they finna fuck you up. This man is working at the hospital, Sean, cutting people heart open. A doctor, a real doctor, making $2,500 a week. He like, bro, I'm in the middle of surgery. Like, leaving work to go MoneyGram me his whole paycheck, bro. If the feds see this, I might go to jail.
Yeah, you might need to. So the reason why I played that video is don't be the guy on the other end of that scam, okay? Don't do this. And you see it all the time. You see people when they elderly, they'll go to a Target with a bunch of gift cards. The telltale sign right there. A lot of times the teller will say, don't do that. You're being scammed, okay? Don't even go down that road. Somebody calling from the IRS talking about wire me some money. Yeah, wire me some money. I'm work for the IRS. Wire the money to this regular phone number. Matter of fact, wire it to Chicago Block Rapper 1998 at gmail.com. Wire the money right there. Yeah, I work for the IRS, and if you don't send it, you go into the penitentiary. All right. Who is that low life? I have no idea. Nobody. Somebody might need to get locked up. Somebody that can scam anybody. And the whole point of me playing that video is to drive the point home. Please don't get scammed. Don't nobody got no time for that. That kid is probably not lying. I've heard that kind of story before. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in real life. I know people that have had that happen to them who have done that. I know people who have been scammed, and also I know people who have scammed. You know, I know one guy that was a prolific scammer. He's gone now, like he's deceased, but he was a prolific scammer. And I knew somebody who got scammed, not by the same person, but by somebody else. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. Let's be careful, protect ourselves in 2023. Now we got quite a few videos we're going to get into today. Some really interesting things. Some things might have a little bit of language, so y'all please just be ready for it. Just a little bit of language. Y'all be ready. You know, I try to keep the cursing down to a minimum, but things happen. All right. And we're going to get into a lot. We have a whole lot to get into. We got some early pandering from the Democratic Party going on. We got some economic stuff happening. We got a lot of things going on right now. There's a whole lot happening. I got some updates. I got some pretty troubling numbers. I got a little bit of everything going on. Some really woke stuff from TikTok I got for you guys. Okay. And I got some things that I want to show, and I want to get you guys' viewpoint on it. I want to see what you guys think about what I'm showing. All right. So let me go ahead and throw a few things on the screen right now, and then we're going to keep rocking and rolling. So again, language warning here. This is Elon Musk. Now, you guys may or may not know what's happening with Twitter. Now, there's kind of they're having their own adpocalypse right now. What's happening with Twitter is that Media Matters kind of they kind of put a hit piece on them. What Media Matters did, you know, quote unquote news organization, news website, Media Matters, what they did was run a piece that said that extremist content they said that inappropriate ads or extremist ads were appearing next to regular content from. Here's what was going on. Let me just say it right. They said that extremist content that was user uploaded to Twitter was appearing next to ads from Disney and other regular normie companies. So of course, Disney see this, other companies see this, and then they back out. Ubisoft, video game companies, like it was a big pullback of ads from Twitter because they said that the content was appearing next to extremist content. The same thing happened during the adpocalypse in YouTube. But Media Matters, what they were doing was intentionally manipulating the system to make ads appear next to extremist content. It wasn't happening organically. They were able to see it for the report because of what they were doing to make it happen. But a regular person would not see that content happening that way. So here's Elon Musk kind of responding to that whole advertiser boycott. Let's check it out. This is him speaking to the New York Times Deal Book Summit. Now, I think at Deal Book Summit, I think your man spoke there last time, Sam Bankman-Fried, after he already got arrested, which is pretty crazy, but I digress.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck yourself. But go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
You don't want...
Now, okay, again, the context is the advertiser boycott. And they're trying to say, oh, the content is extreme, all this and that and the third. It's a way to attack Elon Musk because Elon is allowing freedom on Twitter. he's allowing freedom of expression, and they don't want that. They're trying to say, oh, you're not cooperating with the federales and with state governments when they try to get you to take content down, all this and that and the third. It's a way to try and control them. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You can stick it where the sun don't shine. And at the end, you notice he said, hey, Bob. He's talking about Bob Iger, the big boss over at Disney, the CEO, the guy who was CEO. Then they brought in a different Bob. Literally, they brought in a different Bob. He got removed, and they brought the old Bob back. So he's talking about Bob Iger. Hey, Bob, at the end. So he's like not even really afraid of these people. He has money just like them. He is powerful as a Bob Iger, powerful as all these guys. So he's not backing down. So I like what Elon's doing for sure. I 100% like what Elon's doing. And I say, keep up the good work, boss. And I think there's a longer talk, obviously, from the Deal Book Summit. Maybe I'll do a video on that and then I will link to it. Now, we have other people doing talks and whatnot. Now we have Nikki Haley. And by the way, Nikki Haley is being endorsed by the Koch brothers because they want her to replace Donald Trump. Now, Trump put out a statement after they put out their statement talking about she's going to be the next person who is the face of the Republican Party. Trump put out a statement saying, hey, you guys want to set millions of more dollars on fire like you already done, then go for it. Because although you have spent millions upon millions of dollars, it hadn't made a difference because Trump's lead is just expanding. It's not shrinking. So what are you doing? But anyway, here is Nikki Haley talking to a crowd. I'm not quite sure where, but let's hear what she says, shall we? Let's throw it on the screen. And here we are, very short clip, 5 seconds. But she says quite a bit in a short period of time.
And so while I think President Obama is to be respected, he's our president, he did a good job. And so while I think President Obama is to be respected, he's our president, he did a good job.
So President Obama is to be respected. He's our president. He did a good job. Really? Barack Obama did a good job? I'm not quite sure that's correct. You know, the funny part about Barack Obama, a young 24-year-old ABL was in favor of Barack Obama winning his first time, 2008. I was definitely in favor of Barack Obama. I was a fan of his. And as a matter of fact, you know what I was mad at? I was mad at Hillary Clinton's campaign because they started the whole birther movement rumor. Remember that? When they said that Obama was not born in the U.S., people thought that was a right-wing thing, that Trump started that in 2012 or something. But no, I remember distinctly 2008. It might have even been 07 because I was following the campaign closely. I'm young. I'm like in my early 23, 24. I was following the campaign closely, and I remember it might have been Rahm Emanuel or somebody that put the rumor out because Rahm Emanuel is from Chicago, just like Obama. They knew each other. They were friends, and she was close with Hillary. I remember that. And I was in favor of Barack Obama back then. I was still on the left at that moment, 2008. What's this, about 15 or so, 16 years ago, whenever that was. And as his presidency continued, I started to kind of get disillusioned. And the second term really just kind of turned me the other way. I'm like, wait a minute. Hope and change didn't really happen. This is not a good presidency. He's not doing very good. His presidency was so bad, it made me go the other direction. Now, of course, there was more. I'm getting older. I'm getting wiser. I'm getting more mature. I'm starting to read and research more. That was happening. But at the same time, his presidency was a turning point. So Nikki Haley, your Nikki Haley, says that he did a good job and we got to respect him. How you feel about that? Does she have your vote? Not mine. She did not have my vote before this. I would not vote Nikki Haley to be dog catcher, let alone president of the good old US of A. Never in a million years. How are you going to sit there and say Obama did a good job? A good job at what? A good job at red pilling people, at turning people off from the Democratic Party? Maybe. But anyway, now speaking about Obama, speaking about presidents, here's your man, Joe Biden, Obama's VP, His mind is not there anymore. Listen to what he says when he's referring to Donald Trump. Check it out.
Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do. Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do.
So who is Congressman Trump? Who is that? Do y'all know of a Congressman Trump? Is there anybody in Congress with the last name Trump, with the first name Trump, middle name Trump? Is there anybody that has a name that sounds close to Trump? What are you saying here, sir? Let's run it one more time just to make sure I heard what I think I heard.
Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do. Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do. Instead of cutting them, or like Congressman Trump and Bo want to do.
That's your man, 81 million, and they're going to run him again. Do you guys think he's in any condition to run for president? This guy can barely run to the bathroom without assistance, let alone run for president yet again. Is he going to be able to do anything? Is it going to be another basement campaign? He's not campaigning right now. You got Trump and everybody else out there on the, excuse me. You got everybody on the right campaigning. He's not going to campaign at all. How can he? I'm dust in my throat. Give me a second. These waters right here, Topo Chico, I love them. Sign of maturity. When I was younger, I did not like sparkling water. I said they taste like TV static. But now, at my advanced age, these are like the fountain of youth. These are like heaven in the bottle. Really, and it's glass, no plastic. These are the best. Topo Chico, if y'all want to give me a sponsorship, that's fine. That's not a sponsored post. That's just me keeping it all the way real. All right. So that's your man, Joe Biden, 81 million votes, 81 years old as dirt, old as time itself. And he's not getting any younger. He's not getting any younger. It's only going to get worse. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Now, I got quite a few more videos here. I got quite a few more. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Here's yet another video about Biden and Kamala Harris. As I said, he's not going to do any campaigning, but maybe his team will campaign for him. Now, I'm going to play a campaign video, and I want you guys to give me your honest opinion. Do you think this campaign video will sway you one way or the other? After I play the video, are you swayed? Did it sway you? Are you just going to open your mind and say, you know what? That video was so touching. That video was so moving. I'm going to vote the other way. Y'all let me give me your honest opinion right now. All right, let's check it out. So what do you guys think? Do you think that you're swayed? Are you moved? Did this gentleman right here with the jean jacket and the Biden Harris LGBTQ LMNOP XYZ hoodie, did that do it for you? Are you swayed? Are you going to be riding with Biden in 2024? The economics, the border crisis, global conflicts. Are you worried about that? No, or are all your concerns just washed away because my man right here did a little jig on TikTok? What do you guys think, huh? Riding with Biden 2024? That right there? Hey, check it out. America, if you think you're going to get more than that, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. My man couldn't even follow through on his promises or things he alluded to, student loans and all that kind of stuff. They get out there and lie every day talking about ain't no inflation. Really? There's no inflation? For real? Like, what are we saying? So somebody said he's trying to get a boyfriend. Yeah, I'm sure you already got a boyfriend. I saw him before. I saw him last time doing some kind of dance for Biden. Matter of fact, I got to find that video because that was a funny one. It was like a little team coordinated dance. I was like, man, what in the world? That kind of outreach doesn't work. And I think that's going to be the black outreach right there. That's going to be the black outreach. They're going to put that out there for the black community. So if you're wondering where the actual outreach is, I mean, look, that's all you're going to get. Don't even worry about nothing else. You're not going to get anything beyond that. It ain't happening. It ain't happening, Captain. All right. Oh, they're definitely paid by the administration. You already know that. They got the TikTok, the young white kids. They got them. They got some other guys. Oh yeah, that's a guaranteed fact. We already know that they get paid from the administration. All right, so it's just a matter of, are people really going to believe in it? And I think that people are not believing in it. But we're going to keep on rocking here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I might find that other video in a minute, but I'm going to keep on moving. I ain't going to waste too much time here. I'm going to keep it rocking and rolling. Now, here's a video I really want to show of a young lady talking about she is working. She's working full time and she's having a hard time being able to pay bills. And it's not just her working, it's her and her husband. She's an RN and her husband works. Now, she did not reveal her husband's job. I wonder what he does for a living. And they're not able to actually pay the bills. Or they can pay the bills, but they're barely getting by. After they pay everything, they got a little bit of money left and it's very difficult. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Give me a second. And here we go. Let's do this. Boom. So let's put it on the screen right here. This is kind of going viral. Let's check it out.
This mom of 2 kids can't hold back tears while talking about her bills, despite she and her husband making good money.
We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full time. He works full time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. Guys, it is Tuesday. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. We don't live in a big house. We live in a little ranch. 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. I make good money. He makes good money. We don't live above our means. I don't know what less than paycheck to paycheck is. What is that? Poverty. As a registered nurse, with a husband with a second income. Somebody has to do something to change this. I don't know what to do. And I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Now what? Now what?
So what do you guys think? I'm seeing some interesting comments in the chat. Very interesting comments. What do you guys think? People were saying that if you have that much left, you're doing good. If you got $200, $300 left after you pay all your bills, you're doing good. Is that doing good? And also, I'd like to know, I want to see her go on Caleb Hammer. You guys ever seen Caleb Hammer on YouTube? Shout out to him. If you guys are not familiar, what Caleb Hammer does on YouTube is he brings on people, sometimes it's individuals, sometimes it's couples who are having financial difficulties. And he goes through their finances to see what they're spending money on. Like they'll bring bank statements, credit card statements. He'll go through it line by line. Like, okay, what are you doing? You're spending money terribly. If you make a certain amount of money you should be able to live a certain kind of way depending upon where you live, your obligations, and okay, how many kids do you have? What does your husband do for a living? Where do you guys live? How much do you actually make? What are your expenses? That's what I want to know. Because if y'all both work and you are RN, you probably make pretty good money. You have a house and a mortgage. You're doing pretty well to have money left over. You're not broke. You may not be rich, but you're not broke. And you might be able to have more money if there's going to be a clear breakdown of what you make. And then somebody else said it. Why social media? Great question. I don't know why people go on TikTok and start crying. I have no idea. That's beyond me. But I want to figure out what's really going on with their finances to get down to the core of the problem, because really a lot of issues that I see are overspending, keeping up with the Joneses. And it always happens. Like I see it all the time with people that may not necessarily be rich. They may not be kind of up here. They want to look like they're up there. So you'll see in a house like this sometimes in the suburbs, and pardon this bad freeze frame of the young lady, but I'm going to just show the house. There we go. Sometimes what they'll do, they'll have a bunch of cars outside in the garage, expensive luxury cars. Like they'll live above their means. They could live well, just not that well. But a lot of times they just want to flex. They want to flaunt. They want to do things they shouldn't be doing. Okay. All Natural says $200 left after paying all your bills is good. So you guys are saying it right there. Now, let me see. Wolfman and She-Wolf says, I live in Eastern Kentucky and groceries are crazy. Taxes get wild once you get past $25,000 a year. Absolutely. $700 car payments will get you. Yes, indeed, they will. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of F-150 Tremors out here. Okay, in my neck of the woods, I'm seeing F-150 Tremors. I'm like, okay, I know how much those cost. Not Tremors, Raptors. I have a Tremor. That's like the baby Raptor. Theoretically, I could afford a Raptor, but that's just too much money for me. I'm not going to pay that much. Even the used Raptor is too much for me. But I see them everywhere. People will have a F-150 Raptor and a luxury, a Benz or something like that in front of their house and be living check to check. I feel like if I get a vehicle or anything, I need to be able to afford it easily, even during the downswing. Because when I was a youngin', and really throughout my whole adult life, I've always been self-employed. Like since 2007, self-employed. So I've had up periods where I'm just balling out of control, money falling from the sky, money raining on me. And then I've had really down periods, broke, no money, $20 to my name broke. I've had a lot, a whole lot, a whole lot, and a little bit. And I realized at a certain point, when I was pretty young, I cannot afford to live at the peak. I got to live close to the middle. Really, it's best to live close toward the bottom. But if you just want to enjoy yourself, live close to the middle of where your average is. You know, so if you're at a peak of your finances, live about half of that, 30% of that. So then if you happen to have a dip in your finances, you'll be fine because you were already below your peak. People get money and they immediately spend it. You get a raise at your job. You get a raise. Let's say you make at your job $50,000 a year. You get a raise and make $10,000 more dollars a year. You immediately do things to spend that extra $10,000 rather than just living as normal. You see? So that's kind of how that's my philosophy. So it don't really matter. Ups, downs, whatever, I'm good. You know, that's pretty much what it is. So, but again, I want to see her finances. I want to see what she spends, and also her husband. She didn't say what he did. That was pretty interesting. She said she's a RN, but declined to say what her husband did. That was intentional. Throughout all the tears, I've seen some manipulation, but that's a different story, and I digress. Speaking about money, guess how much it costs? Hey, this is a great transition. Speaking about money, guess how much it costs per year to take care of illegal aliens in this country? Y'all give me a round number. Guess how much, and then after a little while, a minute or two, I'm going to show you the exact number with a news story, all right? So I may have already reported this number, actually, but I don't think I have. I want you guys to guess how much the migrant crisis costs. It's up there. I mean, y'all know it's up there. Y'all know for sure that the dollar amount is going to be through the roof. It's going to be through the proverbial roof. Y'all already know what it is. All right. Business says 250 billion. Corridor 450 billion. Backup 700,000. 700,000. 700,000. What's that going to do? That might take care of one city for a day. 700,000. Somebody says $500 billion, 400 billion, 150 million or billion, 500 billion, 40 grand per illegal. That's a good guess. Way too dang much. That's right, Sluggo. Okay, you guys have already guessed the actual number. Okay, it should be zero. That's right, Sheree. It should be zero. You are the same as me. That's how I feel. That's what it should be, but that's not what it is, unfortunately. All right. So the actual number, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Give me a second. Let me just RP headphone users. Somebody says 888 zillion. It might as well be 1 trillion. It might as well be. Now, I'm going to show you the official number. I don't know how the official number is calculated. And I think that this number might be an underestimate. But if it's accurate or an underestimate, it doesn't really matter. It's way too high. The exact number is $451 billion per year for housing and taking care of illegal aliens. 451 billion with a B per year. Per year.
Stuart, we have new numbers, a new report from the U.S. House Committee on Homeland Security majority. They say the price tag per year is $451 billion. That is both for the housing and care of the asylum seekers as well as those known gotaways.
Known gotaways. You see what I'm saying? So this is just a number that they have kind of just made up. But I'm sure that it costs more. Think about all the other things that we got to pay for. Okay, if you're here illegally, are you paying federal income tax? If you're here illegally, how much money are you sending back to your country of origin? If you're here illegally, what kind of crimes are you committing? If you're here illegally, what housing are you taking up? How about now? And is that money? Is that number just federal dollars? Is it city, state dollars? What is it? We're seeing, and then there's the other kind of costs. Okay, New York City has a budget shortfall, $7 billion. Now, they can pay for it from their budget, but in order to free that money up to pay for the migrants, they got to cut their own resources. They got to cut their own city services to pay for the migrants. So does that money come up in the big number? I'm not quite sure. I want to know how they got that number, where they got a number from. Is that straight federal money? Is it state money, city money? Is all of it included? That's what I want to know. 450 billion and rising because the border is still wide open. It is still wide open. Now let's check it out. Look at all these tired and hungry people. Look at all these families. Look at all these little kids. Look at all these elderly people. Look at all these people. You got guys on cell phones. I've seen a bunch of guys look just like me. Like, this is a family reunion. What's going on? Hey, my brother. My brother. Do you know 70% of the migrants in New York City are African? Did you know that? Oh, ABL, they're coming from Mexico. They're tired and hungry. Well, what's up with these guys coming from Senegal and Gambia and Nigeria and everywhere else? Oh, they got one little ninja, Mija, on the ground over there. But the rest, a bunch of hombres. Bad hombres. Look at this, straight Africans. Some Indians, Iranians, Turkish. A handful of Mexicans, maybe. You know what? Remember that video? I showed you a few videos like this where the guy was going up to the migrants, illegal aliens or whatever, and interviewing them and asking, ¿Dónde vas? ¿De dónde eres? They were saying that they come from everywhere in the world but Mexico. Nobody said Mexico. Nobody. They all said somewhere else. Maybe it was some Guatemalans in there, maybe some Salvadorans here and there. Not even those. It was mostly like South Americans, Colombia, places like that. No Mexicans. They come from India. It was some Yemenis. It was everybody in the whole world coming. And again, 70% of the migrants, of the asylum seekers, the illegal aliens in New York City who have come over the past year are African, mostly West African. Some of my kinfolk. It's like, how you get over here? How you hop on the plane talking about I'm an asylum seeker? How does that really work? What type of, like, that's like me getting a passport, packing clothes, getting the ride, getting the Uber to the airport, talking about, yeah, I'm gonna go seek asylum. Huh? What? It's crazy. Yeah, it's an invasion, but it's fine, right? Because somehow it's racist if you say anything to the contrary. Now, I got to show this video from your man, from your main man, Brandon Johnson. Oh, I got to show it. I must show it. Let me pull it up right quick. This was a crazy video. Okay, I got to show this one and then the other one. Y'all give me a second. Families. While I load it up. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This is your main man, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. He is the Lori Lightfoot replacement, who is worse than Lori Lightfoot. Okay, crying about the migrant crisis. Meanwhile, you identify as a sanctuary city. How are you crying about the migrant crisis when you welcome them in? Hey, everybody, come one, come all. You're tired, you're hungry, you're weak. Come to our city. We'll take care of you. But then when they come to your city, all of a sudden you want to blame Trump supporters, right-wing, Nazis, hateful, conspiracy theorists. It's like, what are you saying? So let's go ahead right here.
Those are the words of, I think, Beyonce. You won't break our soul.
That was a good one, right? Look at that smile. Look at that. That's that Chris Christie smile when he did that joke at the debate a little while ago. Like, you see what I did there? Ha ha. My man got a whole mohawk as a mayor. What are we doing, man? You're not a serious Chicago. You guys are not a serious city if you elect this guy. A mohawk at his age as a mayor? I mean, come on. Are we a mayor or are we a metal drum player? What's going on? Are you going to legislate or are you going to lay some tracks? What's happening?
Everyone knows that the right-wing extremism in this country has targeted democratically ran cities. And quite frankly, they've been very intentional about going after democratically ran cities that are led by people of color. And their whole motivation is to create disruption and chaos, because that's what that particular party has been about. Right? This is the same political party that did not want to accept that President Obama was actually an American. It is abysmal, and it's an affront for everything that is good about this country, for the extremism in this country to use people as political tools to settle political scores for something that happened 400 years ago. They're still mad that a black man is free in this country. This is nothing new, but aren't you glad that the soul of Chicago won't be broken? And those are the words of, I think, Beyonce. You won't break our soul.
So that's your man right there, Brandon Johnson. Now, I got some breaking news here. You guys are alerting me. We have Henry Kissinger. he has died at age 100. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I thought this man has been dead for a long time, just like Bob Barker. When Bob Barker died, I was like, he just died? Like, what's going on? So he has died just now. This is breaking news literally 1 minute ago or 10 minutes ago. Happened at 8:45. So here we go. Henry Kissinger, who shaped world affairs under two presidents, dies at 100 years old. A diplomat exercised an unparalleled control over U.S. international affairs and policymaking. He was also the target of relentless critics who deemed him unprincipled and amoral. Again, Henry Kissinger died at age 100 just now. Obviously, that's an old picture of him. Clearly, you're not going to be 100 years old looking like that. Why would they show this old picture? Like, Washington Post, what is the deal? What is going on? Let me show you what it looks like now so you can, like, recognize him. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All righty. Let's go here. All right. Here is an older article about him, but that's what it looks like right there. Interesting how this headline reads. This is from when? This is from last month, October. He says that Germany let in too many foreigners, speaking about the Hamas attack fallout. As a minority in Berlin cheer Hamas's attack on Israel, former U.S. top diplomat says massive immigration was a grave mistake, and now he's gone. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that they took him out because he said some things about the migrants. If you're 100 years old, I mean, you don't really have too much time, you know. You don't really have too much time, and that's just kind of what it is. All right. Let me make sure that everything's good over on the Facebook. We'll be good over there. On Facebook, you guys let me know if the audio was working well. I see my man Derek said no audio. Well, we should be good with the audio on Facebook. If the audio is not right, y'all let me know. But yeah, he just died at age 100. Damien says, will I be streaming the DeSantis versus Newsom debate? Now, when is that going to be? I didn't even know about it. When is it going to actually happen, and who's going to stream it? If Fox streams it, absolutely not. Actually, I mean, it's got to be somebody like NPR, not even NPR. It's got to be somebody like C-SPAN or something, because if it's Fox, no, because Fox likes to give copyright strikes. I don't got time for that. I don't have time. I'd rather would just not do it. And that's the dumb thing that they do. That's why I really just hate on the RNC so much, is because they don't understand what it takes to reach a younger audience or reach a broader audience. They want to just gatekeep their intellectual property to the point where you have a smaller audience. It's like, what are we doing? Y'all so dumb. That's a good question. Exactly, RW. Who's watching it? Exactly. They could get a broader audience if they allow us streamers to get our hands on it and do some commentary live rather than trying to make everybody watch their old networks. Nobody wants to watch them. Nobody wants to watch these people who are like watching paint dry. Nobody wants to watch them narrate the debate. Like, all they're going to do is just show the debate. It won't be any banter, no interactivity. It's just this old dinosaur format. It's like, man, get with the times. Come on, man, 2023. Let's get with it, man. You can't fight progression at a certain point in a serious way. All right. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, Hannity, Hannity, say less. No. Absolutely not. I will never, ever in my life stream another Fox News thing. And it's not because I don't like Fox. It's not even about like or dislike. It's about they put out a memo saying that if anyone streams their events, they're going to give them a strike. I ain't putting my channel at risk for that. There's no way. There's no way in the world. There's no way. Please. So, hey, if they can get some viewers to watch Fox News on a Thursday night, then bravo. If they can get people to watch a Gavin Newsom versus DeSantis debate, then great. That's the totally wrong viewpoint. That is a totally wrong venue for a thing like that. That should be live on the internet for free. You would get more viewers and more money by doing it that way. But, you know, old school people, these old fogies in these offices been up there for they still get Rolodexes and they got these old school computers. They don't understand what's happening out there in the streets. Yeah, Hannity, man, please. Man, look, if you happen to work in a tire shop or something like that, maybe you'll watch it on the shop TV. If you work in the airport, maybe you'd be able to see it from where you are working. If you happen to be traveling that day and you see it in the airport lounge, then great. But me, no thanks. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Now, we got more to get through. There's a whole lot more. Oh, your man Brandon Johnson talking about blaming MAGA country. I thought we got past this already. I thought we settled the score with Jussie Smollett. Remember he said during the polar vortex some years ago that these two big bodybuilding white guys came out. I mean, that was the dumbest story I ever seen in my life. So the story from Jussie Smollett was he went to the subway during the polar vortex at 2:00 in the morning. I mean, he must have had the best sandwich ever. He walks to the subway in extreme bitter cold. And while he's out there, these two guys just happen to attack him. Like, you got some random people with Trump hats on in negative 1 million degree weather. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like the cold. Once it gets to be about 45 degrees, look, man, if I don't have to really venture out in the cold, I'm gonna try not to. I'm a beach boy. I don't got time for the cold. Put me on the beach, I'm good. Flip-flops, no socks, 85 degrees, 90 degrees, I'm good. 45 degrees and below, I'm a snowman. I'm a frost, I'm a popsicle. I'm completely cold. But I'm to believe that these white guys were out there with MAGA hats on at dark 30. It's 40 below zero in Chicago with that cold wind hitting you right in your hind parts. Two white guys out there attack this black guy, try to lynch him, throw bleach in this. I mean, the dumbest story ever, right? The dumbest story ever. And what does the mayor do years later? He says, you know what? Yes, it is MAGA country. And the reason why we have the migrant crisis is because of these MAGA Republicans, extremists, right-wing, racist, targeting our city. Huh? My man, Chicago votes about 85 to 90% for the Democratic Party every single time. How does anybody from the right have any influence in your city at all? How does that really work? It makes no sense. And you know, the funny part is that if you want to zoom out and go to the federal government, when the orange man was in there, when we had control of the White House, meaning the GOP, there was no migrant crisis. The migrant crisis sparked once your guy, Sleepy Joe, 81 million, cocaine in the White House, Hunter Biden, 10 for the big guy. When that guy got into the office, all of a sudden the borders wide open and your city got flooded. Same thing, Eric Adams, New York City. That's what happened. So why you want to blame Republicans? Why you want to blame extremists? Why you want to blame MAGA country for what the Democrats did? This is ultimate gaslighting and zero accountability taking. Zero accountability. It's your fault for opening yourself up, being a sanctuary city, and embracing Joe Biden. It's your fault. Your governor, Pritzker, it's his fault. Same thing, New York City, Eric Adams, your fault. The former governor Cuomo, current governor Hochul, it's you guys' fault. Why are you going to blame us for what you did? Anyway, let's get to the video here. Then we're going to keep on rocking and rolling.
timing could not be more crucial. We cannot abandon families and asylum seekers and let them go through Chicago's winter alone.
Mayor Brandon Johnson today announcing a new initiative with Chicago's.
Do you guys see your man over there, Jesse Jackson? I mean, he's over here in the far left-hand corner, not in the spotlight. Did you guys notice that? There's a big light right on him. Brandon Johnson. And over there, you got Jesse Jackson in a wheelchair. Why is he even up there? Let him just go home and rest. It's like a relic on stage for no reason.
Brandon Johnson today announcing a new initiative with Chicago's faith leaders to help shelter and feed migrants.
It comes as the city scrambles to build temporary shelter for thousands of asylum seekers.
Fox 32's Dane Placco reports on how many people will get help.
As temperatures plummet and migrants continue to pour into Chicago, Mayor Johnson announced a new partnership with Chicago area churches to help ease the migrant crisis. They're calling it the Unity Initiative.
The Unity Initiative will prioritize getting pregnant women, children, and all of those sleeping outside of police stations or on the floors into temporary housing as quickly as possible through churches all over the city of Chicago.
Funded by $350,000 in private donations.
That ain't going to be enough. 300 grand for all them people, that ain't going to be enough. And pregnant women, why do you have pregnant women coming to MAGA country, polar vortex? Why are they coming here right in December almost? I mean, can we just add 2 and 2 and get 4? Obviously, they're going to just create anchor babies. That's what that is. That's the whole point. They come here pregnant already, about to pop. So then when they arrive in the hospital and have the baby, now you got a whole family. I said it before about the migrant caravan. It was a film crew covering a caravan, and I got to find that video. I don't know where it is, but it's a film crew covering the caravan coming from Central America, Mexico. I'm not sure where she was from, Mexico, somewhere else, South America. Anyway, she's pregnant, and the whole time the film crew is just showing her. She gets to the border, literally hops over the border, plops the baby out, boom, anchor baby. And all of a sudden, she has an apartment and a husband and the whole 4-year-old. A 4-year-old, a husband, where did that come from? They probably already been there. They probably just sent her across, have the anchor baby, and now the family's going to be together. You can't deport a little boy because his parents are not going to be able to provide for him. The husband's got to be there with his daughter or his baby, the newborn baby. And the mama, of course, she got her baby. You're not going to deport her. And you can't deport a newborn the same way you can't deport a little 4-year-old either. So that's what's happening. They are creating anchor babies. They're taking over these cities. And the current administration is allowing it, facilitating it, and putting the burden on Chicago, New York, etc. I don't feel bad for the leadership because they're inviting it. We're a sanctuary city. We're a sanctuary state. Come one, come all. Anchor babies, illegal criminals, criminal aliens, whatever. It's fine. It's no big deal.
The partnership will initially involve 17 churches, housing up to 20 migrants each. The migrants will live at the churches and be provided food, medical care, and social services, and eventually employment.
We're prepared to receive the migrants compassionately, provide clean, warm shelter, prepared meals, humanitarian services.
Right now, a little more than 1,000 migrants remain camped at police stations, down from more than 3,000 a few weeks ago. And the number of migrants living at O'Hare is down to about 100. The pastors say they're ready to start immediately.
All these pastors have committed to start the process. So boots on the ground starting tomorrow, and we're going to start filling them up.
The mayor also responded to criticism from residents of Brighton Park, who say there's been a lack of transparency about plans to build a huge migrant camp on an empty lot.
We're not going to break away from our value system because right-wing extremism is sowing seeds of discord in this city.
Construction at
right-wing extremism. What are we even talking about? My man, sir, what are you even saying? This is ridiculous. This is totally ridiculous. I mean, but hey, that's your man, right? What's his name? Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. Yeah, that's your guy. Now I'm gonna find that caravan video in a moment, but I'm gonna show you what's happening with other Chicago residents. You know, like people that have been here for a long time, residents of the actual city. So if you're homeless in Chicago, I'm gonna read this caption, then I'm gonna show you the video. It says Chicago homeless citizens, mostly black, have to sleep on trains in 15-degree weather while the city provides shelter for illegal immigrants in nice warm hotels. Shaking my head. All right. And not only the hotels, but they're building a whole brand new facility. They're welcoming them in, giving them brand new facilities. But meanwhile, if you're here, regular, normal person, homeless, you could be a veteran, elderly, whatever, disabled. Hey, man, go to the train. Okay. Hang out right there. There we go. That's going to be where you are. All right. Getting off work, you don't got nowhere to go. Stay on the train and figure it out, man. Wake up and get right back to work.
Is next. Doors open on the right at Grand and State.
All right. Imagine living on the train as a homeless person in Chicago, and then you see illegal aliens coming in, breaking the law, not even here as citizens, not even citizens, and they get all these services from taxpayer money. Like, what's going on? What is really happening? Yeah, you an American, forget about it, man. You might as well go across the border, you might as well go across the border, learn Spanish or whatever language you want to learn, or appear to be African, and come across, hey, I'm from Senegal, huh? You know, say you're from somewhere else, come across the border, and then you might get more help. Maybe. Just maybe. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. I'm going to try to find that actual clip. I think I might have found it, or I might be coming close to it. Yeah, I'm going to find that. But we're going to see. We shall see. Because the clip I remember, it was like that she was on this flatbed type deal. She's on the flatbed, and then they were taking her over. And when the caravan stopped, she literally hopped the border. I'm going to find that one day. That's going to be a deep dive for me, but I'm not going to be able to find it right now. So we're going to keep on moving. Let's get to some more here. Let's talk about some. Oh, I got to show you guys a pretty interesting video. This is about these new houses that are kind of old houses. Remember shotgun houses? You guys ever seen those? So shotgun houses, these were relatively small and narrow houses that were pretty popular many, many years ago. My dad had one of those, but it was small. The house was so small. I'm talking about, it was a house, a single family house. One story, obviously. The house was like a studio or apartment. Seriously. He had a small kitchen, a living room, and a bedroom, and one bathroom, a small bathroom. That was it. He put on an addition to the house later. I don't know how. I mean, the addition was so small. It was like building basically a box. It was a tall box on the side of the house, basically. And he had like a weight room in there. He had this real small weight bench and some weights, like a flat bench with some weights, and that was it. And that was a house. If that house was 700 square feet, I'd be amazed. Probably about 500 square feet for the whole house. Now, we're starting to bring some of these small shotgun houses back because of the reality of this economy. Interest rates and mortgage is getting expensive. You want a McMansion? Well, hey, man, you better be a multi-millionaire for a McMansion, not even one of these big Hollywood Hills type spots. Forget about it. If you don't make Elon Musk money, forget about the Hollywood Hills. It ain't going to happen unless you just want to, spend money you don't have. But you may see a lot more of these houses I'm going to show in a minute come up in your city. And it might be the best option. You starting out, or you just want to own property, or have an apartment if you could find a good one. Let's check it out. So here we go. Shotgun house. Looks pretty small from the front. It goes far back, but not that far back. Okay, let's watch.
You asked for it, and here it is. The most affordable home in San Antonio, Texas. Let's check it out.
Okay, the music is killing me. But there we go. There's the house. Hopefully the music is not all the way throughout. Let me just play this.
Tiny home. You have a little breakfast nook here, and you have a full kitchen. You have a sink, dishwasher, stove, and you have a space for a refrigerator. All right, guys, so we're in the bedroom. It's small, but it's affordable.
My man, the music.
Guys, so this is going to be a 2-story home. It's going to be over 600 square feet. 2 full
600 square feet. That's going to be your house. 600 square feet. Now, I remember when I was in Virginia, my apartment I had a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. I had a decent sized kitchen, a living room, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom. And I had washer dryer hookup. That was 900 square feet. An apartment. 600 square feet for a house.
Full bath, and it's going to have this loft area here.
All right, so we can see, and you can see from the top here, you can see the how they go back. It's narrow, really narrow and small in the front, and it kind of goes back a little bit, but still pretty narrow and small. And they have, some of these are fenced off. That's pretty interesting how you have some deeper fences, and they got like a real long yard, and some of them, and there's some of them that have the really, really short yard. But it's all about the lot size. So a developer comes in, they buy a lot of land, and if they have any spare, you can see how it kind of goes back. They might have just had that as part of the deal. So they just made these yards conform to their property. It's kind of weird. But anyway.
Would you live here for $1,000 a month? If so, call me, text me, or message me. Remember, I'm Billy the Realtor, and I sell brand new homes.
So what do you guys think? You want one of these row houses, shotgun houses? That might be the plan going forward. 600 square feet. And what he didn't say was the actual price to purchase. You said $1,000 a month. There's a way to actually know that. If you're talking about mortgage, it's impossible to quote a mortgage without knowing a few factors. First, the price of the home. Second, if you're going to get that mortgage, are you going to put a lot of money down, a little bit of money down? The minimum 3.5 FHA, the traditional 20%. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to put more than that down? But the biggest thing is, how much does it cost? I'm willing to bet in San Antonio that might hit you for $300,000, bare minimum $275,000. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna try to find. Let me see if I can Zillow it right quick. Not that particular property, but just in San Antonio. If I could put in some filters, and say, okay, let's say max 700 square feet. And yeah, I'm gonna put it in San Antonio, Texas. Okay. For sale, home type, houses. And then I'm gonna put in, if I can do the square feet max 750. Okay. Do I see any of these new houses? I don't see any of those row houses quite yet. Oh, I see one right here. So that's going for 161. 161. That's actually pretty cheap. All right. So here we go, right here. That might not be the exact one I saw. This might be a smaller one. But this is 1 bed, 2 bath, about 700 square feet, 661 square feet. And that's going for $161,900. That's your price. All right. Now, would you pay that much for that? Would you want to purchase a home for that kind of money? And I think I might have found the actual place. I'm seeing a bunch of the ones look just like that. It says 160, 165. That's pretty much the going price for that kind of home. But I don't see a lot of the other ones. They might already be kind of sold up. 152, and they're all kind of in the same location. All right. You guys say, nope, ain't gonna do it. And then also, I wonder where these are located. That'd be, part of the thing, because it could be far away. If it's like far out of the actual city center, you got to go drive 1 million miles. Yeah, it ain't really happening. You guys are saying nope, ain't gonna do it. Yeah, how much land? Not much land. I showed you guys see. Look, you can see the land right here. Watch. You see how most of these have a very small fence in the back, and you're right close to your neighbor. You're like pretty much touching. It's almost like townhouses. Almost. Not quite, but almost. You see the distance between the houses? Very close. To the point where you could share a common fence entrance almost. They're very, very close. You couldn't put another house in between them, and the houses are small. You might be able to park a car in between them, but barely. They're very close together, and they have a little bit of space in the back, so not much land at all. And of course, the house is small, so not only are you in a small house, you don't have much backyard, no front yard really to speak of, and there's a little bit of space in between you and your neighbor, so you're going to be on a small lot regardless. So if you wanted to take that lot and do something else, you couldn't really do much. All you could do was just go more vertical, but I'm not trying to have no Leaning Tower or pizza for a house. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, definitely a fire hazard for real. I mean, hopefully we got firewalls like a townhouse does. Hopefully we have that going on. All right. Oh, here's something else. Speaking about social media. So TikTok has LGBTQ, LMNOP, XYZ influencers encouraging users to read the Quran. All right. Yes, the Quran. Let's check it out. I did not think I would see this in 2023, but here we are. Let's check it out.
I started reading Quran.
I just started reading the Quran.
So I've been reading the Quran, and I have a
Salam. Good morning. And this is why so many people are starting to read the Quran.
So I ordered a Quran, and I just wanted to show you how heavy.
Okay, so I'm an ex-Christian reading the Quran.
Today, I'm going to go through fighting war.
I started reading the Quran. This is the.
We're on the Quran, and we're on Joseph.
So I have started already tonight a little bit.
It is my first time reading the Quran. I thought I would share my thoughts on the first.
This sentence from the Quran just answered a question I.
Okay, guys, so I got the Quran. I got like a version that I.
So I'm an atheist who recently got a copy of the Clear Quran to start reading. I
just started reading the Quran, and I am so excited about it.
So yeah, there we go. This person right here, I'm not quite sure what gender we are right here. I have no idea. If I don't, but yeah, these guys and girls and unidentifieds are all reading the Holy Quran. So we're going to see where this whole thing goes. It's going to be interesting to say the least. Now, I wonder why I've not really seen a lot of these wokesters talk about reading the Bible. I don't really get it. It's weird. You know, I've read the Quran, I've read the Bible, I've read all those books. They're not really ready. They're not going to take it seriously. They're going to just try to make it apply to whatever they want to apply to. They're not really about that hadith life. They're not really on that 5 times a day. They're not serious. They're not serious about anything. They're just influencers, really. They'll say pretty much whatever. And whatever they think will gain traction on TikTok. TikTok is the devil. It really is. I swear, it's the devil. And it's a weapon from China. It's just that simple. That simple. Because stuff like that is not allowed. Listen, I say it all the time, but stuff like that is not allowed on the Chinese version of TikTok called Douyin. It's not there. They don't show that. They show us the filth. They give us filth, garbage, trash on our TikTok, and they give us heroin. They give us everything to try. Weakness from within. from China. You see, we're talking about we don't want to go to war with Taiwan, but in essence, we're already in war with China, but we're getting stomped in the wine. We're getting stomped. We're getting curb stomped right now. We getting pummeled, beat senselessly by China, just not in the physical, direct way. Okay, there's no need to come over here and just start shooting people. You could do a lot more damage by giving us things we want. We don't want to get shot, but we do want TikTok. We do want these drugs, unfortunately. Even if we don't want drugs, we can't help but take them because we done been hooked on them by the big pharma industry. But I don't want to go down that road, and I digress. Matter of fact, I found a good meme to express how I feel right now. I'm gonna play it for you guys right quick. Shout out to my main man, Bryan Cranston from Malcolm in the Middle. Also, after Malcolm in the Middle, he went ahead and said, you know what? I'm not with this whole family life. I ain't trying to raise these kids, these little big head boys I got. You know what I'm going to do? I want to sell meth in Arizona. But watch this.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back. Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
That is how I feel all the time. If I had kids, anytime I speak to anybody, that's pretty much how I am. When they say something, oh, and then the meme, if you can't see the meme, it says, Dad, why is there a pyramid with an eye on the $1 bill? And he says, one more time.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
Exactly. Once you start down this rabbit hole, I'm going to take you down. There's no going back. You're going to basically get the Matrix blue pill, red pill. You ready to get out of the Matrix? You ready to get awakened? That's going to be me as a dad, and that's me pretty much all the time, speaking to anybody. When they signal that they're trying to be awakened, when they ask me a question about certain things, then it's like, okay, now let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go down the rabbit hole and really just get rocking. All right, pardon me, almost lost you there, but I'm here. So shout out to Bryan Cranston, a great actor, by the way. Fantastic actor. Who knew that the dad from Malcolm in the Middle could become the world's most famous meth dealer? All right, but we'll keep on rocking and rolling. All right, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I have a few more here, a few more videos here. Y'all give me a second. We're going to get into it. And I have really a question I'm going to ask you guys in a minute. This is going to be a video complete with a question. All right, because I just kind of want to know, just for my own sake, I just want to understand what's going on. And I think you guys would be able to let me know what's happening. All right. So do I have it here? Yeah, I got it. Oh, and I got an update for you guys as well. I have an update. I have an amazing update for you guys. And that video I did was crazy, but let's play this one first and we're going to get to the update.
You acting.
So here's a question. Now, this person has a bunch of packages that they want to mail off, and they got to the post office like right at the closing time. Right at closing time, they get there with a bunch of packages, and apparently there's a little bit of back and forth between the customer and the guy behind the counter at the post office. So let's watch this, and then I'm going to give my 2 cents and ask for you guys' 2 cents.
You acting outside the box. I don't know. Okay. But I don't appreciate this.
Yeah, it don't make no difference what you appreciate. I don't appreciate y'all coming in here at the last minute, and then it's 7 o'clock right now.
Okay, right now. And so this is your job. So what you complain about your job
I'm
for?
not complaining about my job. I'm not complaining about anything, ma'am.
I do want an email receipt. Where the supervisor at? You the supervisor?
Oh boy. You know if the supervisor's gonna tell you, get your behind in here in time enough to take care of your stuff so I can go home.
Okay, get your supervisor.
The supervisor ain't here right now. You come back tomorrow, she'll be here, she'll tell you the same thing. And you can record me all you want.
But you don't have to go on no rant for no 20 minutes.
No ramp. I'm glad you done, because the next time you be out here and you don't come at a certain time, I'm leaving you outside. And you can tell whoever you want to, and ain't nothing they gonna be able to say. Because they ain't gonna be here. I'm gonna be here.
TikTok, this what you get downtown post office.
Wow.
Like, for real, it'd be them cowards, because you see, he not saying that to him. So I guess it's just towards the women. Cowards.
All right, so there you go. So that's what's happening. So a little bit of a background. Again, she goes to the post office right at closing time with a bunch of packages she wants to mail off to people. These are probably orders from an online store she has. And I'm going to tell you what she could do to bypass all this. So she goes to the post office right at the closing time, and apparently there's some kind of back and forth between her and the guy. And she's like, look, and the guy's like, look, you come in here super late. You should have come here a little bit earlier, take care of your business. I'm trying to go home. Now, some are going to say, well, look, he's still going to get paid regardless. So what? It doesn't matter. But it's a certain thing about being considerate. I'm not going to be the kind of person to go to a restaurant like right before close, 20 minutes before close. I'm not going to go right close to closing time when I know how the restaurants work. They're trying to clean up and break down and all of that. Here you come right at closing time trying to order entrees and drinks and appetizers. It will always happen. Back in my restaurant days, and I'm going to do an old man shakes fist at cloud story. Now, some are going to say, you guys are getting paid, so what? It is what it is. You on the clock. But look, we got lives and stuff too. Okay, normally when we do breakdown, we can close the doors at, let's say in the restaurant, it'd be 10 o'clock on a Friday, right? Or really like 9 o'clock. Not 10. So we close at 10. We closing the doors at 10. We get all the few tables out of there. Ain't nobody coming in at the last few minutes. We can go ahead and break everything down, clean up, and we can be out of there at 10:45. I'm back home. I got to get up in the morning. I got to go to school, or I got to go do something else. I got family. I got friends. I got whatever. Okay. But when you come in there at the last minute, that can add another hour onto our time to get out. Now, I'm saying this is kind of a big example, but I'm just talking about consideration. All right. Don't come in there at the very last minute when you know we're trying to get out of here. We're trying to, close everything down. And if you do come in, don't order a bunch of stuff to make us stay for a very long time. The cooks, they got to come back on the line. You're doing a lot. We got to reassemble all this stuff. It's a whole lot going on. So it's consideration. Now, in this case, I don't know why they were arguing, but it's still about consideration. Don't come in there with all your orders from your Etsy store at 0:30 right at closing time, trying to get, that's just inconsiderate. That's all that it is, right? Exactly, Noah Garcia, keeping that 364 tip. Exactly. And here's my solution. See, when you have a store or you sell products, you can warehouse them. See, the way my store works, I can send my products. If I buy products and if I have inventory, I can send it to a warehouse where they will keep it for a small fee every month. And then I could just direct my customers to my store. They can purchase whatever they want to purchase right there on the online store, and the warehouse will send it to them automatically. So ain't no back and forth to the post office, and I'm trying to log in orders at the last minute, and I'm sitting there in the middle of the floor. I always see that on Instagram and stuff like that. It'd be somebody in the living room packaging up items to go to the post office. It's like, what are you doing? You're just wasting a bunch of time. Don't nobody got time for that. Send your products in the box, have numbers itemized, have SKU numbers or whatever, send it to the place, pay a little bit of money to warehouse it, and automate it. It's simple. So then you're not going to be in the post office bothering Mr. Charlie at 7 o'clock on the dot trying to get off 35 orders at the last minute. But anyway, fulfillment, exactly, back up. Exactly. It's real simple. That's all. Yeah, and you know what? It's a straight nugget, free game. Shout out to you, Via Dallas Cowboys fan. It's free game just for you. All right? But nah, you know what? It's not even expensive. I'm talking about $25 a month. $25 a month. It's not expensive. Because, and then you got to think about it like this. How much time are you spending? How much time did it take for you to package up each individual order, put a label on it, and go to the post office And pay still is not going to be free. You still got to pay. So just do things that are going to save yourself time and maybe even money. That's just me. All right, but we're going to keep on rocking and rolling here. The update I wanted to get to. So remember the whole thing about the the Native American kerfuffle that happened at the Chiefs game? So at the Chiefs game in Vegas, so the Chiefs Raiders game in Vegas, there was a young boy wearing a headdress and face paint, right? Let me just put the picture up on the screen right quick. So this picture right here, remember? Now, Deadspin and the guy, Karen, matter of fact, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just show you who I'm talking about and the article right quick before we get into the update. I gotta show you this because there was an article from Deadspin. Deadspin has been the bad website for a long time. A really bad website for many years. They've been woke, disgustingly woke. I mean, and by the way, Deadspin used to be owned by Gawker. Okay, just so you understand kind of what we're dealing with here. Really woke website. There's a network of these kind of websites. Jezebel, Kotaku, The Root. These kind of woke websites are part of the Deadspin family. So you already know what's going on. All right, let me just show you the OG article and then the guy, Karen, and we'll go from there. All right, hold on 1 second. Here we go. Let's do it this way. Here's the OG article. The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. And then the subhead, they're doubling up on the racism. Are you going to say anything? Roger Goodell, who's the NFL commissioner. Now, that's the boy right there. They literally just picked this one picture of him facing this way. They're showing the side profile where he has black face paint on, and they're trying to say that he is a racist white kid who's wearing blackface. And then in the article, Karen or Quran or whatever, we're going to see his name pronounced in a minute. He's trying to say the kid is not only insulting black people, but also natives because he has on a native headdress and blackface. But this is not blackface. He's wearing face paint. All right. Now let's hear how the author's name is pronounced.
Karen Phillips. Karen Phillips.
Now, if you would have said Karen, that would have been better. Karen, I'm going to call you Karen. How about that? Because that's kind of how you acting right now, my man. Like, what are you talking about? Full grown man, right around my age. Okay. I'm seeing the grades and everything. You're right around my age, man. You're too old to be doing this. Come on, black man. We got to tighten up and do better. But that's the actual picture of my man, the little kid wearing the face paint. He's just trying to coordinate with his outfit. He's a fan of the Chiefs. Black and red face paint. He has on a black shirt underneath his jersey. He has on a necklace with black, red, and white beads. The charm is the Chiefs logo, the arrowhead, with the KC logo on it. It's black, white, and red. So what are we talking about exactly? Somebody's going to say, oh, well, the black, that's not part of their jersey color. It's just white, yellow, and red. Well, obviously, you have some paraphernalia that has black in it. So he's just matching that. What's the big deal? Even if it wasn't, we're just talking about face paint at a football game. Now, here's the update on the situation. The boy is actually native. He's actually native. His granddad is on the board of a tribe, literally. So you're accusing this boy, and here's his parents. Oh, he looks white, ABL. I don't have nothing to look. I'm not native. I don't know nothing about their politics and how things go, if you're considered native or whatever. But I would just say this. If your granddad's on the board of a tribe, I think you might have the right to put on a native headdress. Okay. And even if he's white as snow, he could be straight from Iceland, Reykjavik. His name could be Thor Magnusson. I don't care. He could still wear the native headdress and face paint because guess what? It's just a costume. What's the big deal? Who cares? So what? We're at a football game. What's the problem? But it's even worse when you accuse this boy of being a racist when he's native. That's even worse. But again, he could be white as snow. He could be white as white could be. A sheet of paper, snow, air, the sunlight in your eyes. It doesn't matter. He could still wear whatever he wants. You could be white, black, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, wearing the native headdress and the face paint. The same way, you go to Pittsburgh Steelers, you're going to put on the Steelers black and yellow and white. That's just what it is. But his dad is on the Chumash tribe board in Santa Ynez, and I know I said that wrong. Y'all please pardon me. But his name, Holden Armenta from California, he's native and he belongs to the Chumash tribe. So he's actually part of a tribe. Now, whether he looks white, I don't really care, but he's part of an actual tribe. He can say, I'm native. And that's it. That's it. And you know what? You know what's funny? Yeah, if he was to become trans, right, and put on a dress and high heels and makeup, that'd be totally fine at his age. But goodness gracious, God forbid he puts on a native headdress as his own headdress. That might have came from his granddad. Here, boy, put this on. Boom, take that. That might have been his granddad's headdress when he was a little boy, and it could have been a family heirloom. It could have been a family heirloom, but that's somehow bad. You got grown men my age writing hit pieces, calling them racist, bringing up January 6th and the Civil War. I mean, just unhinged kind of stuff. But that's the update right there. The boy they accused of racism for wearing a native headdress is native. Part of a tribe for real, like actually native. It's crazy. But hey, yeah, shout out Pocahontas. Pocahontas is not part of no tribe at all. She just said, yeah, I got Indian in my family, just like black folks be doing. Yeah, I got Indian in my family. What kind of Indian? I don't know. You part of a tribe? You got your DNA tested? No, I know my grandma said, my meemaw said. It's like, man, nobody wants to hear that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. So yeah, shout out to Karen, aka Karan. That's an awful article you wrote. Awful, awful, awful. That's just really ridiculous. Inexcusable behavior. But we keep on moving here. We keep on rocking and rolling. We got quite a bit more to get through. Shout out to you guys for being here. Angie Warren says, Kamala Harris's dad was born in Jamaica, but he's Irish and Indian, not black. Yeah, exactly. One thing people don't understand about a lot of these places is that you can say that you are a certain nationality, but that doesn't always apply to race. Like you're Jamaican, you can be whatever in Jamaican. You got straight Chinese Jamaicans, you got white Jamaicans, you got black, you got Indian, red dot Indian Jamaicans. You got a little bit of everybody in Jamaica. Mostly, obviously, it's going to be black. It's going to be majority black, but it's not 100% black. Okay, just like I saw you had, what was that? It might have been Zambia or Zimbabwe. You had a white Miss Zambia, or I forget what it was. One of those African countries in the south and west. It might have been Namibia. One of those countries. It was a white person in the beauty pageant for them. But it's like, yeah, you know, just because you're in Africa does not mean you're in a 100% black place. Mostly black, yes, but not 100% black. That's just what it is. But in some parts of the world, if you are if you go to Japan or China, you could pretty much assume that everybody there is going to be pretty much ethnic Chinese or Japanese, but it's not always the case. You got some white folks in Japan, black folks in Japan, but it's not very common. It's not very common. But in Jamaica, you're going to see quite a few Chinese and Indians and everybody else. A friend of mine is actually Jamaican, but he come from like mixed ancestry. If you see him, you see he's black, but his grandma, I think, is Indian. And that's just kind of how it is in a lot of these countries in the world. Same thing with Americans. Most of us are mixed. Well, not all of us. Pocahontas obviously is not mixed, but most Black Americans, you're kind of getting into like the mestizo category, where you got a lot of admixture with white, but that's a different story. So I will keep on moving here. Let's get to the next thing. Oh, speaking about China, are you guys ready for the new virus? Is that going to be what's happening? Why is it always some fear of a new virus coming from China? Always some kind of new outbreak. What is the deal? Are they just eating random stuff over there, creating new pathogens? Is it being done on purpose? Is it a way to try and scare us? Is it a way to do more damage to us? We were talking about how they send TikTok to us, how they send the precursors to fentanyl and methamphetamine and everything else over to us. So do we have yet another bioweapon coming from China? Do you guys think that C-19 was a bioweapon? I can't really call it, but they're sick in China again. Now, the thing is, it's weird because they say it's a mystery bug, but they know where it comes from. Huh? If you know where it comes, like if you know that these are common pathogens, you know what it is and you know where it comes from, then why is it a mystery bug? That doesn't make any sense. I've learned a long time ago to not believe anything that China says or anything the US says. So all that I can do is ask questions when I see things like this hit the internet. They're going to say anything that they want to say, that they think they need to say to protect themselves or to push a narrative. We saw it during C-19. We saw so much lying going on, so much lying. Okay, the vax will protect you from catching it. Oh, no, actually, it won't protect you from catching it. And then they gaslit you. First, they were saying that get the vax if you want to protect grandma. Then they came out and said, we never told you the vax will protect you from getting it. Huh? You told me that if I didn't get the vax, I'm trying to delete my grandma. That's what you said. That's what you said. You were shaming me into getting the vax. And of course I didn't, because that doesn't work on me. But you were shaming us into getting it. You were forcing us to get it. If you don't get the vax, you can't go to work. Well, why am I being forced vaccinated if it doesn't prevent transmission? If all that it does is prevent hospitalization, then why am I being forced to get it, to go to work? And then why are you saying that if I don't get it, I'm trying to delete grandma? Whether I get it or not does not prevent me from passing it to Meemaw. It doesn't. So what are we doing? They tell you anything they want you to hear. They will lie to your face with a straight face. These are the best actors anywhere in the world. Anthony Fauci, you know what? There was a rumor that he got rewarded by the Trump administration. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. He probably did get a reward from them, but it didn't really matter. The reward or the award that he should get is an Oscar, a Grammy, something, some kind of award for being a Hollywood actor. That's what he is. Got on TV and said, you gotta get the vax for your family. Oh, no, the biggest whopper that he admitted was about the mask. It doesn't work. It does work. He said that he lied about the vax not working. I mean, the mask not working, because if he didn't lie, then there would be a rush on the masks and there would be none left for people in the healthcare industry. A straight bold-faced lie, because he thinks it was a good lie to tell. I'm not into being played with like that. Don't play with me like that. Just give me the truth. If you play with me like that, I'm always going to doubt what you're saying. I'm always going to doubt you. Okay? You were lying now, or you were lying then, or you were lying both times. Either way, don't nobody got no time for that. I'm getting triggered. So let me play this video right here of the new outbreak that could come across the shores, or maybe it won't come across the shores. We'll see how that works. I'll tell you what, if there's an outbreak in China and we know about it, we already been exposed to it. If there's a new bug in China and we know about it, we've already been exposed. The airports, I mean, I'm right here. Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta is right there. It's an international hub. It's already here if it is a thing that exists. Let's check it out right quick. Let's get some sound. That'll work.
At hospital emergency rooms, the sick children just keep coming. From toddlers to teens, mostly with respiratory infections, including pneumonia. It's been 10 days now, this mother says, and the fever is back. Health officials say the surge is happening not just here in Beijing, but in clusters across northern China.
This is one of the biggest children's hospitals in this city, and it's full of kids who are coughing, hooked up to IV bags, or still waiting to get treatment.
The headlines here about a respiratory disease outbreak triggered alarm bells and prompted the World Health Organization to ask Chinese authorities for answers. The WHO said China shared its data that showed no sign of a new disease so far, saying in a statement, the reported symptoms are common to several respiratory diseases. Unlike a then unknown virus that emerged in Wuhan 4 years ago.
So, okay, you're saying that it is like other diseases, but what is it? You're saying that it's a mystery bug that looks like other bugs, but what is it? If you don't know what it is, and you don't know what it is. So why are we trying to play games? C-19 was actually a thing that we've seen before, just not to this, to this level. Corona, head, it's a head cold. It's a bad head cold. That's literally what it means. Coronavirus. That's what a head cold is. Your head, corona. So what are we talking about? This is stupid. This is misinformation. This is lies. These are lies that we're hearing.
That unleashed the COVID pandemic. Back then, China was criticized for a lack of transparency. What's going around now, according to health officials, is a known mix of flu, RSV, COVID, and mycoplasma or walking pneumonia. The advice from scientists, don't panic. Last year, there were still strict COVID rules here, kids masking up and schools locking down. The wave flooding emergency rooms now seen as more of a comeback than a mystery.
With doctors here working overtime, health officials are urging anyone with mild symptoms to avoid the hospital because of the risk of cross-infection. But for the rest of the world at this point, scientists say there's no evidence of anything new or unique here, that it's the same sort of surge you're seeing in the U.S. and can happen anywhere. Savannah?
All right, Janice Mackey-Freyer, thank you very much.
Hey, so there we have it. That's what's happening over there in Beijing and also in northern China, right by the border of North Korea. Now, hopefully it doesn't hop across into North Korea and decimate the population. That'd be bad. What if you got any kind of travel between North Korea and China? And if they get sick over North Korea, it's a wrap. You got 25 million people in North Korea, if I'm not mistaken, 25, 30 million people. Let me see the population of North Korea. North Korea population, 25.97 million people in North Korea. 51.47 in the South. So North Korea, it'll decimate them because do you have a lot of healthcare out there? Not really, not that I know of. And then once you get to the South, that's going to be a problem as well. And you got U.S. troops there. It's going to be an issue if there's an actual bioweapon or a bug or something like that floating around. Oh, we know what it is. It's not new, but we don't know what it is. We can't name it. Okay, whatever. If it was the flu, you could say it was the flu. The flu, pneumonia, you could just say that. Rather than saying it's mysterious and we don't really know what it is. It looks like this, but it might not be. Man, look, I'll tell you what, regardless of what it is or what it is not, I'm not going to lock down. I'm not going to do anything they want to say. I'm definitely not taking no vaccine. I've not taken the vaccine. I refuse to take one. I'm going to tell you this. Never as an adult have I had a flu shot ever. The last time I had any kind of vaccination, I'm talking about I might have been in middle school maybe, to go to school, maybe elementary school. The last time I got shots might have been elementary school. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like 3rd or 4th grade at the latest. So you're talking about the 90s, early 90s, late late 80s, early 90s. For real. The last time I got any kind of vaccinations, this is before Will Smith getting jiggy with it. This is before this is before Tupac got shot. This is before Will and Jada got married. This is during the time of Tom Hanks being the biggest actor in the world. This is back then. Last time I got any kind of vaccination. If you got one, if you get the flu shot, hey man, your prerogative. Do your thing. Thug it out. But personally, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not interested. I'm cool. I'm cool. And I'm still here. And I'm still here. Ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. How about that? All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, old Jim Bob says, my baby is 3 months old. Should I get her the typical vaccines? I have no idea. Now, you're asking the wrong person. I'm not a mother. I don't have any children. Candace Owens actually has a video about this, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think her kids are vaccinated. But don't quote me on that. So what I would tell you, if you're asking me seriously, reference what Candace Owens said. She has a bunch of kids, obviously. She's on kid number 3 now. Like, and she might pop any day and have that baby. So she's a mom. She's a Candace Owens is probably the smartest person I've ever met. At least one of the top 5. I've met a lot of people that you would never see before. Like big money donors, people that have invented things. Like I've met some really, really smart people. She is brilliant. Brilliant. Like, no cap, as the cool kids say. No cap. She's brilliant. So I would refer to what she has to say about that. Because I just don't know. I don't have the information. I don't have any children. I'm just not really up on the subject matter like that. All right. Yeah. shout out to Eric Carr. Way before Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. Way before all of that. 90s. All right. Let's keep on rocking here. Let me get to the super chats. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. We're going to get to that in just a minute. All right. Let's check out Apu, who says, you mean Nardo Wick. He says Narco Wick. Nardo Wick's bodyguards brutalized 20-year-old fan that only wanted an autograph. His name is George Obregon. Where are the protests? Where are the marches? Yeah, I saw that. So Nardo Wick is a rapper. And fun fact, I was on a plane with him the last time I flew, actually. I was on a plane with Nardo Wick and Waka Flocka when I left Atlanta to go to Virginia last time I went back home. And I didn't know who he was at first, but I kept looking at him like, oh, then I was like, it kind of rang off in my head. That's Nardo Wick. They probably were going to Virginia for a show. Probably for one of my friends throwing a show in Virginia that they were going to. But different story. Anyway, so a video comes out of a fan approaching Nardo Wick for a picture somewhere by a vehicle, and a security guard just hit him one time. And when the security guard hit him, he kind of just froze. Like, he almost fell, but he didn't fall. Like, he was out on his feet. And then Nardo Wick's friend came up to him and just started swinging violently. Matter of fact, hold on. I might be able to play that fight, but what I'm going to play is what Nardo Wick said in response. He's apologetic. He didn't want it to happen. But really, he's getting a big lawsuit. That lawsuit is going to be crazy. That lawsuit is going to be off the chain. It doesn't matter what you say at this point. It's going to be crazy because you're the rapper. You might have some money. You're the target. You're going to be the one who is held responsible. And at a certain point, I would say rightfully so. At a certain point, maybe he's not responsible, but at the same time, he is. Let me play the original video. It's really quick. And then I'm going to play the apology. So trigger warning is a little brutal to watch. So you see the man right there, young white kid coming up in front of the vehicle. The guy right there with the all black on, the dark clothes, that's the bodyguard. Nardo Wick is behind the bodyguard in the white, and there go one of the Crash Out boys, another one of Nardo Wick's friends.
Where'd he go?
So then here comes the guard from the back hitting him. And you see he's out on his feet. Right there, he's out. So at this moment, really, the whole thing shouldn't have happened like this. There was no reason to hit him. He could have just easily picked him up and escorted him away. This kid is small, but he hits him. And then, I ain't gonna play this part, but right here, this kid, this person, hits him repeatedly. He falls on the ground, hits his head. Okay. Hold on, I'm sorry. But then he's on the ground, okay. So that's what happens. All because he wanted to get a picture with the guy, Nardo Wick, the rapper. And then here is the rapper apologizing. And then that's a picture of the guy in the hospital.
I don't condone that situation to happen. I don't stand for that situation to happen. I was fully unaware that situation was about to take place. Feel me? As soon as it happened, I tried to de-escalate the situation. And after the situation, I got in contact with his mama. I sent him my number. I called, asked how he was doing. I told her I'd do anything to make it up to him as a fan. You feel me? I told.
Now, you might have a hard time understanding them. I'll translate after he's done.
To keep me updated on his health. And it ain't about trying to stop nothing from happening because I don't want to get with nothing. It ain't none of that. You feel me? I genuinely care about the fan. That's all I'm worrying about right now. I don't give a damn about like where everybody talking about sue. I don't care about that. They gonna do it. They gotta do it. They do what they do. You feel me? Right now I'm worrying about the fan. Make sure he's straight. And you feel me? I just want him to know that I ain't condone that. I ain't want that to happen. That ain't how I treat my fans. I love my fans. You feel me?
Okay, so basically, if you couldn't understand what he was saying, I'm going to translate. Basically, he's saying that he didn't condone what happened to him. He didn't want it to happen. He got the kid's number and contacted his mother and reached out to him. He's not worried about getting sued. He's like, if he gets sued, it is what it is. But his main concern with the fan who got hit by his guard, and again, he doesn't condone what happened to him. He didn't want it to happen. But I'm going to tell you what happened. What happened was, again, this kid right here in the hospital approached this guy, a rapper, Nardo Wick, because he wanted a picture. The security guard hits him, knocks him out on his feet. And then the other guard or friend of the guy over here, the rapper, followed up and hit the guy many times until he hit the ground. He hits his head on the pavement. Now he's in the hospital in bad shape. He's getting sued because he did not have proper security. A lot of these rappers, what they do, they'll have their friends from the hood be their bodyguards, which is the wrong thing to do. You're getting your big friend who likes to fight rather than licensed, trained security guards. DJ Vlad TV, what he does is he has LAPD off-duty officers. That's very smart because these guys know the law. They know how to de-escalate. They're trained. They can carry their weapons. These guys are the best to have. You don't want to get unlicensed guys. If you don't want to get cops, at least get trained professionals, not your homeboy from the hood, okay? Because he's going to crash out and do things that are going to get you arrested or sued. And that defeats the point or the purpose of having the guard. The guard should be there so you don't get in a bad situation. Not just so you can just whoop people up when they approach you. That's stupid. That's silly. But once you're more into the industry and you kind of understand that, you'll be able to move differently. So that's what's happening. And that came from a super chat from my man, Apu Bakar All Puff Daddy. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We're going to get to a few more. Yeah, I had to translate for you guys. I know you guys are not going to understand them because he's speaking monotone and he's not putting any kind of syllable emphasis in his speech. It's like, yeah, it's like, man, come on, man. I can't understand this. All I hear is like the peanuts. Wah, 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 wah. But I've been around these guys so long, I understand it. Like if one of my guys from Virginia comes on here and is talking like normal, you're not going to understand the word, but I understand everything. Let's keep on going. Shout out to Apple who says, Nevada 17-year-old Jonathan Lewis murdered by teen thugs. Where are the marches? Where are the protests? Where is the news coverage? Where are the libs? It doesn't really fit the narrative. Also, Kara News, September 7, 27, 23. Federal jury awards $1 million to Tony Tempa's son. Fines $3 police officers liable for Tempa's death. Good news. Well, shout out to them. Shout out to Apple again, who says, but still nowhere near $27 million for George Floyd. George Floyd, that whole thing was crazy, and it changed it. It changed the nation, unfortunately. All right. Shout out to Apple again, who says, it's sad that there are Arab children dying in Gaza, but Hamas uses them as human shields. Oh, there we go with that talking point. Not Israel's fault. Hamas do TV shows with Mickey Mouse characters that teach Arab kids to delete Jews. Disgust. I mean, the whole human shield argument, you could say the same thing about Israelis, because you fighting in tight quarters. So at a certain point, you're going to have civilian casualties on both sides. But I don't want to go down that road and get anybody triggered, so I digress. Shout out to Big Rocks, Little Rocks, fantastic name, by the way, who says, first of all, can I get a shout out? And I recently bought a Springfield Echelon that was lost in a boating accident, but I highly recommend the Lost Echelon. Well, shout out to you, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. Thank you for your super chat, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Apple, who says, shout out to Federale Spying. We know J6 inside job. There we go. Also, ABL, favorite board game, Monopoly, Mousetrap, Clue. I would say Monopoly. I like Monopoly also in the video game form. Yeah, that's a classic board game right there. Or also like card games. Uno's also, that's always a good card game. I played poker back in the. I used to be a poker player too. I wasn't gambling or anything like that. I was just playing poker. Of course, the old school War. That was one of my first games I learned how to play in my life. Before video games, before anything. I've always had video games, but I think War was my first game I learned to play. I had to have been maybe about 2 or 3 years old. I don't know. I was young. I was no older than 4 years old playing War. Anyway, shout out to Apple again, who says, ABL, bottled carbonated water, you sophisticated. Yeah, man, I'm bougie. I'm fancy over here, man. Bottled carbonated water, glass bottle. Shout out to the glass bottle. I try to drink glass whenever I can. I know plastic's bad. Hey, man, I'm thugging at a certain point. Anyway, shout out to Over 50 and Fantabulous, fantastic name, who says, boo-hoo, try living on Social Security, sweetie. You talking about a lady that had the budget problems with who was an RN? Yeah, I understand. Thank you to Lothair, who says, $200. I wish I had all that after bills. Thank you to R. Scott, who says, all the caps popping off in Chirac. Where, how, who re-ups their ammo? Hey, they got these extendos, what they call them. They got these 100-round drum magazines. And, hey, they got money for ammo. They got ways of being able to procure these things illegally. They get these things illegally, stolen, while you and I got to work really hard for our stuff. F Ranger Xbox says, who called it the first replacement population? I'm not sure. Thank you for your super chat, though. That's a good question. Shout out to Angel Rivera, who says, hey, ABL, your videos are always funny and your insight is always informative. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Mark Peterson, who says, longtime listener, watcher. I'm 59 and you're graying gracefully. I've got 5 kids and 19 grandkids. No big city for us. Take care, my friend from Minnesota. Shout out to you. 5 kids and 19 grands. Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. Shout out to you. Thank you to San Diego Varsity Sports, who says, a home built in 1950s in the hood in San Diego is $700,000. If you sell it, you have to move out of SoCal. And Southern California in general, this is cost. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Thank you to Authentic Perspectives, who says, hey, ABL, it's Gap Talk Media. Salute. Shout out to you. Shout out to Gap Talk Media. Shout out to Teenyverse for becoming a member. Thank you to Carl Wagner for your super chat. Shout out to Monique Price, who says, keep it up with the working emoji. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Elise, maybe Griffin too, who says, Kathy Hochul said, that they will be able to come to your home and remove you without any proof that you might have a disease with no court date. Well, hey, you know what I got to say to that? You know what my response is to that? Try that in a small town. How about that? Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not just going to be taken away from my house like that. That's not really going to be what it is. Shout out to JK Seraphim 4, who says, Mr. Logan, what is your take on the price of living crisis, silent depression that some people talk about on TikTok? I've not seen that. I may look into it and see what's going on, but I've not seen it. There might be something going on there. It could be something to it. I played the video earlier of the girl talking about she's an RN and her husband also works, and they kind of just right at the point of check to check. They're not quite there, but they're close to it. And there's perspectives there because some people said that they're living pretty good. If you could pay all your bills and have money left, like $200 left, you're doing pretty good. But it depends on your living situation. It depends on how you spend money. Really, that's what it is. Because for me, at one point, I could stretch. I mean, even now, I could stretch $10, $20. I don't have to now, thankfully, thanks to you guys. But I still don't ball out. You know, I got 2 cars. I don't have super expensive cars. I have Fords. I have cars that are easily obtainable by the average man. I don't have luxury vehicles. I will never get luxury vehicles. I don't have a super expensive house. Like, I could have gotten a house that costs a lot more, especially when I got my house at a great time. My mortgage is below $2,000, below. And I know people paying that for an apartment, like not even a super fancy apartment, just enough to not have roaches and not be in a ghetto. They're paying $2,000, just enough to not have roaches as roommates and not be in the ghetto. $2,000 for an apartment. Atlanta, outskirts of Atlanta, and don't live in the city of Atlanta. Forget about it. $2,000 ain't gonna get you in. You want to live midtown, Buckhead, downtown, man, please. I knew a girl in Atlanta that had a nice apartment. It was really nice. That apartment was $3,500 a month for rent. $3,500 a month for rent. It was nice, but it wasn't that nice. Maybe it was about 1,000 square foot. $3,500. I mean, forget about it. Forget about it. For that kind of money, I want a house on the hill. I want acres. I want animals. I want a farm hand. I want to be able to have a sustainable farm. I want to go outside of my house and have acres, like a jigsaw puzzle portrait outside my house every day. That's what I want for that kind of money. Please. That was an apartment in Atlanta, Buckhead. $3,500. She had a roommate and was paying $16,000. I was like, man, no, ain't no way. You're almost paying my mortgage. You almost paying my mortgage with a roommate in an apartment. You got me all the way messed up. But anyway, shout out to her if you're watching. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to the calls here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, right there, you could call in using the email in the description. And if it doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man. You know it's not my fault. Yeah. So 35, yes, for an apartment, JB Scotchman, 3,500 done, as the cool kids say. Ain't no way. When I was in Virginia, my apartment cost what? Max $908 for an apartment that was about 900 square foot. Yeah, it was not 908, right around that. It wasn't quite 1,000, I don't think. It was like right around 900. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? JV Scotchman smoking. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not a lot, man. I'm getting some echo here. Let me try to adjust this.
No, we good. We good now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. No, yeah, I haven't called in a few weeks. I mean, I kind of took a break from politics and pop culture, you know, because you got to do it sometime. If you focus too much on it, it'll drive you crazy.
Oh yeah, of course.
And yeah, which is good because like my online girlfriend from Pennsylvania, you know, she bought me the RoboCop game on Steam, which I've been playing like crazy because I'm a huge RoboCop fan. And I bought her a rice cooker in exchange, so got my Christmas shopping done. But yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you buy anything special on like Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
No, not really. It wasn't a whole lot of good deals. I got some games actually, some video games, because I got a Steam Deck. I play some games handheld, so I got some stuff there. Some I like turn-based tactical games. I got this game called Wasteland 3. I'm gonna play that when I get some time. What I do a lot is I buy these games and I never play them because I don't have any time. So if I get a little bit of time to myself where I'm not putting out content, when I'm not studying and whatever, I'll be able to play those. But beyond that, it wasn't too much that really got my attention on Black Friday.
Yeah, I bought a few gifts. I mean, I don't have a lot of family. Yeah, I was, you know, I get my mom. I mean, she's like a diehard Elvis fan, so she collects anything and everything Elvis. So I got her some, you know, knickknacks, you know, like, yeah, she loved that. Yeah, I do. Me and my brothers will trade gifts every now and then. But, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Last thing, that Kansas City Chiefs kid, man, I hope he sues the hell out of that reporter from Deadspin. I mean, that's just bad. I mean, going after a young kid like that. I mean, this guy is supposed to be a sport reporter. Has he never been to a football game? I mean, you go to any football stadium in the country and people are painting their face, you know, all different kinds of colors. You know, and this kid was actually got Native American heritage. I mean, yeah, that Deadspin reporter, yeah, I hope, yeah, that kid and his family, yeah, sue him for defamation.
Right on.
I mean, come on.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, my God, we can't even dress up for sporting events anymore. I mean, I don't know, it's ridiculous. And yeah, COVID 2.0, oh, it's coming. Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to see more people wear masks around here. And it's like, yeah, it's just another plot to do some voter fraud, you know, mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting. Yeah, they're going to do whatever they can to cheat again. But I don't know.
Well, we'll
but
see.
Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's
right on,
yeah,
man.
good to watch your show again. Yeah, I just, like I said, I had to take a little break, you know.
No doubt. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Later, dude.
All right, now. All right. Shout out, man, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's get cracking, rocking, and rolling. And I had one right there, but I missed it. A little bit too slow for the trigger on that one. Let's keep on going here. All righty. We got a couple. 859 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
I'll just watch the show, enjoying the show, and the whole headdress thing with the Chiefs and stuff like that with the fan, and I'm like, the journalist there, I'm kind of like, how dumb you have to be? This is a kid. You're trying to act like this person's a grown adult, and they did it from an angle, and you can tell they lighten up the picture up to make it look brown, the face paint, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was crazy. Just the angle. It's like, there's more than one picture of the kid available. Just show the whole picture.
Oh, exactly. And not only that, I mean, they were trying to say, he was being racist towards Native Americans and African Americans. And it's like, it's face paint, and it's in a Kansas City. Sorry, it's a Chiefs game. Of course it's going to be Native. And that's the one thing I don't really get, why they're so offended by it. Because you think about it, we name our football teams after, like, you know, warriors and, like, vicious animals, you know? I mean, think about it. Like the Bengals, the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Bears. Think about it. We name our football teams basically based under, warriors. The Chiefs and the Redskins, that's some pride. We're giving reference and pride, saying these are warriors. We're going to name them after a football team.
Yeah, exactly. But people are just so offended, or they just want to, they work jobs trying to find things to be offended about. That's really what it is.
It is true, because, man, I met so many other Native Americans. I asked their opinions, like, what do you think about, naming the football team that? It's like, I don't care. Not my team.
Right.
So they don't care. Not like working class people who are, like, actual real Native Americans. Exactly. They don't care at all. And the funny thing about it is, I was in a similar situation before in the past. I used to do interviews for, like, independent films locally here. I'm not going to say what magazine, because it started up a whole BS situation that I ended up getting fired from. But that one time, some guy from California was trying to contact my employers, claiming I was a Nazi. And not realizing, when I contacted this person, it's like, you realize I have a Star of David tattooed on me, right? Like, if you knew about my father's side of the family, they were Jewish. I mean, like, what? And the only evidence the person pointed at was a band T-shirt when I was in high school of a band called Death in June with the SS skull. I'm like, oh, that's a band T-shirt. Oh, come on. And still to this day, like, he swears up and down I'm like some evil, like, Nazi person, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Go away. And nobody believes him. But this one guy has tried to do that a few times. It's insanity.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, dude, some of these journalists, they willfully lie about this stuff, and they don't hold any accountability, or the article, unquote, unquote, disappears. We need to hold these media sources accountable for their mistakes. And they just keep on lying. I think they lie on purpose just to make a couple extra $100. And then, we go through a lawsuit. We made more money on the article than the lawsuit. And I think they're just purposely lying just to make that extra quick cash. That's what it is.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It seems like they have a license to lie, man. All these major news organizations, they have lawyers right on tap, and they can just lie to your face. It's crazy. It's insanity. Hey, join the show, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, ABL. The Luciferian Libertarian friend is always here, man. See ya.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 215 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hello, ABL. Can you hear me?
I heard you well.
Yes. Oh, my fault. I thought I hung up on you by accident. But anyway, I'm gonna get to the point. So basically, you know what's funny? Because I couldn't find a video of Hillary Clinton claiming that the election was stolen from her back in 2020. I'll be trying to look on YouTube, and apparently I need to look hard enough on Google to try to find the video. Because I remember it was a whole compilation of her just claiming that the election was stolen for like, how long did she make those claims? For like 2-3 years?
I mean, she still makes it because she'll say things like Trump's not a legitimate president and he knows it. She'll say it in a lot of different ways. She's not stopped. It's just a matter of the media being honest about reporting it. And if they don't report it, it's going to be kind of hard to find clips of it because there won't be any news stories on it, you see?
Yeah. Yeah, because I tried to find the clips after the 2016 election of her saying the election was stolen, and it was kind of hard to find. I was like, ugh. Yeah. It's like they're trying to bury and delete all those clips.
Of course.
Because it goes against the narrative of the elections can be stolen when it was stolen from Donald Trump. Because in 2016 she made the exact same claims. And here's another thing I wanted to say, but I always hit people with this. If the election was stolen from her, well, if she felt like the election was stolen, how come she didn't run again in 2020?
I mean, it's a good point.
Exactly. I always make that point. Most people can't answer that.
I think that she understands that she was pretty much like Weekend at Bernie's through the campaign. Like she couldn't even walk from point A to point B. When that car pulled up to the curb and she couldn't make it, I think that more than anything took the election from her. People just realizing she wasn't a good candidate and Trump being the better one.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense because at that point, the reason why I felt like you said, while she didn't try to win, she finally accepted the fact that, or at least a part of her accepted the fact that, okay, I'm not really a liked candidate. I'm not really that well liked.
Right, exactly.
So, and at this point, when it was said that after she lost the election, and I love how when they say, oh, Trump keep making the false claims that the election was stolen, when I always hit people with this, I was like, Hillary Clinton did it all of 2016. Throughout 2016, she did the exact same thing. I remember that year, and I didn't even vote that year because I was still a liberal. I wasn't really educated on politics, but I do remember her saying the election was stolen all for at least a year. Yeah.
Yep.
But and one more thing I wanted to touch on, ABL, is honestly, like people are having it. You know what's funny? A lot of people are complaining about life. Like, for example, I know somebody that was complaining about they're trying to move out. She was trying to move out of her. She was trying to move to a nicer, quieter area, and she was trying to get her car on top of that. So she was having financial struggles. But you know what's funny? She was like, I will not take public transportation center at all. I spend most of my money on Ubers and Lyfts. I said, okay, well, that's the problem right there. I can see that because that stuff adds up after a while. And especially if you take it every day to get to work, get home, get to work, get home, that stuff adds up. So if you're trying to financial advice, you don't want to keep taking Uber and Lyft every single day, especially if you don't have a car. Like public transportation is like sometimes you just got to swallow your goddamn pride. If you got to go make money, just go make money. I don't know I never understood this. I won't take public transportation. I've been taking it for years, but then again, everybody's different.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, when there's money to be made, however I get there. And honestly, I'm probably not going to give up on public transportation anytime soon because if gas prices stay high, then honestly, I'm just going to stay there, even if I do get a car.
Exactly. I'm with you.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one.
Same to you.
But yeah.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And I did you a solid, my man. I did you a solid. So while we were having the conversation, I was looking up Hillary Clinton talking about the election being stolen from her. So I'm going to play a couple of these clips and I get right back to the calls. Here's one. Check it out.
I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
Okay, there's one. I got more.
I know how disappointed you feel because I feel it too. This is painful, and it will be for a long time.
This right here was her concession speech. I remember that funny jacket with that crazy Joker from Batman, Riddler, Penguin combination collar. That collar was unforgettable. I mean, what in the world is that, man? It looks like a piece of origami that's all the way folded out. What in the world's happening? A trident. You have a final boss weapon right there on your chest. But anyway.
What I learned is that the Russians were successful. You can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you. And let's not forget sexism and misogyny. There was a lot of sexism and misogyny. There was voter suppression. There was the FBI's intervention. And then there were the Russians. Russian WikiLeaks, Russian interference, and Russians, Putin, the Russians. The election been on October 27th, I'd be your president. I got interested in cleaning my closets and, taking long walks in the woods, things that helped me recover from that loss. I'm trying to stay in a really positive frame of mind. I went to the inauguration of Donald Trump, which was one of the hardest days of my life.
Lock her up is still a big popular line.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
So do you have enough evidence right there? I could go on. I have more. That's just a taste of it. That's just a little bit. I got a lot more footage to show. But that's just enough right there to let you guys see what's really happening. Let's keep on rocking here. The number to call, you guys know, 434-658-1220. 504, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All righty, man. What's going on?
All right. So, I was just watching the part where you were talking about the Hillary videos. Very good.
Right on.
Yeah, she does look like a Joker character.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yesterday, you see, my area has been nice and quiet, but yesterday there was a shooting up the street, and that's unfortunate. But it may have been people having somebody must have been angry at somebody or whatever, and it just shows you the importance that it's good for people to legally bear arms because people illegally get them.
Exactly. I mean, that's the key because these people are out here, they're dangerous, and you got to protect yourself from them. It's very important.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think I was watching something a little while back that for many years, the Democrats were accusing the Republican side of stealing the elections. It goes all the way back to George W. Bush, and that's something that they always did. And then, but when our side says it, that they all, the whole world gets upset, but that's what they always did.
Oh, of course, always. I mean, it's always, they are able to control the narrative. They're able to control what gets said and who says it, who gets offended. And that's just what it is. They don't really raise a fuss when they do certain things, only when we do it.
Right. And also, and I do think they have a vast control of the media, and they're able to easily influence TV shows and comedians and people to say something. And I notice a lot of normies, they'll go along with it and think it's gospel and it's true, but it's good that there's, us, this alternate news media to counter what they're saying.
Absolutely. You got to have it because without people like us, their word would just pretty much go unchallenged. And that's really unfortunate.
Right. And also the dictatorships in Europe, in Russia and Germany, that's what they did. They silenced all opposition to what they were saying. And they accuse our side of being fascistic, but it's their side that really acts like that. And they do a lot of projecting.
Right. Absolutely.
And I do think that they do pandering to different groups and stuff just to get votes. And I like what you showed earlier. You covered about the migrants. They all look like they're from Africa, and they're not from Mexico, and they're using the border to bring in all these people from God knows where for various different reasons, and also, cheaper labor and stuff. And I think that it's good that's exposed, because the media is going to flip some kind of narrative, because they want to make our side look like it's against Mexico or something, but that's not the case. They're just trying to bring in these people to destabilize the country, in my opinion.
Oh, no doubt about it. And of course, they'll make it look like, oh, it's a racism thing if you don't want them to come. But really, it's not even about that. It's about, hey, where are they going to go? And then we have our own problems here. Let's focus on our problems first before we try to reach out to the whole world and help them. We can't help others if we can't help ourselves.
Exactly. Like in New Orleans, the mayor went to Africa and Paris and used all this money for these trips, but the city is going, as I told you before, it's going a little bit downhill. And, even in the city, there's corruption, and also in different parts of the country and other big cities too. And, regular people, black, white, whatever, like nobody likes this. And the mindless liberals just go and eat up all this stuff. But it's good that I know that people are waking up, and that is a positive thing about it.
Absolutely. 100% correct. That's definitely the positive thing about the whole situation.
Yes. And also, I'll mention something you mentioned earlier is a very good point about the people. I do think people do spend money, in my opinion, on things they don't need to get. Like I mentioned Netflix and different stuff. And I think that times are rough with inflation, but I do think it is good if people can do like what you did or what I did with doing maybe a little business thing or making money on their own. I think that would be a good option for people. And I do think at least people can try to cut out things they don't really need to get.
Oh, definitely. It's just about money management, having the budget and sticking to it.
Right. I think schools failed to teach people about that kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. School, it don't teach you too much about life skills. And I think that's really important for people to have, especially in these modern times where things are changing every day. And I think the schools need to be updated to what's happening today in society.
Right. And also, I was on another chat the other day, and they recognized me from your show.
There we go. Right on. Loving it.
Yeah. All right, ABL. That's all I have to say for my call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to my main man, Alien Spaceship. Really appreciate him. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. 372. You know the line who am I speaking to?
Hello, Anthony.
Yes.
Hello. You're talking to a serious listener, first-time caller. By the way, I'm calling from Asia. I'm calling to give my compliments. I like your face wash and attitude. Pretty much everything.
Hold on. One second. Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm on Bluetooth.
Is it possible to get off the Bluetooth?
Okay.
Hello, are you there?
Is that okay?
That's much better.
Yes. Oh, you're talking to a 3 years listener, first-time caller. I'm calling to. By the way, I'm calling from Asia. I'm calling to give my compliments to you. I like your face, voice, and attitude. Pretty much everything. Just listen to your unique voice is a great enjoyment, and plus your great content. You're the best. And I think I got pretty much information from you. I don't know, Joe Rogan is not a Republican until you mentioned it, and I never heard of the word global cooling until you said it. I'm 31 years old, but I never heard of that, and I think I'll never watch 30 for 30 if it's not your recommendation, and I do take notes when I'm listening to your shows. Some of your words really impressed me. We are either nowhere in between. You're helping yourself or you're hurting yourself, nowhere in between. I like this no in between mindset. I think it just helped me to think sharply and be more focused. And another golden sentence, I think, is your show. I think I got two favorite parts. One is your intro at the end of your show. I'll be back live again on Saturday, 8 p.m. to rather around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I like that because it makes me think that maybe someday I'll share the same time zone with you. It gives me some hope. And so I like that. And another part I like is our Nigerian friends. I like that guy. He's a super nice guy, super hilarious. And
Hello, are you there?
a guy calling you. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do have a question for you. A guy called in about 2 weeks ago, and he was kind of trembling tremendously, and I cannot tell him.
You're breaking up. Are you there?
Yes.
So you said the guy
Hello?
called. I can hear you. So you said the guy called in and he was trembling tremendously.
Yes. So, how could you catch him and heard every word he said? I want to know, do you have any skills and can train like hearing ability, or you just take? It's just because you're taking too much calls and you can do this all the time.
I just try to listen very closely to what people say. I listen very closely and just focus on what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking the call. Love you and peace. Bye.
All right, now, peace. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, shout out to the caller. I like the, remembering some of the parts of the show. That was a good call. It's just said she's calling from Asia. Shout out to the Asian listeners. I appreciate you guys. We international. We all over the place. ABL Live, we're everywhere. So shout out to you guys. I really, really appreciate y'all. And if you didn't catch the question, she was saying it was a guy that was calling in and was trembling tremendously. Maybe he was stuttering or something like that. And she's like, well, how are you able to understand what he was saying? Like, what's your skill over there that you guys have to listen to people and be able to understand them? It's just, sometimes I'm just like, I'm listening very intently to understand what's going on and also just the context. A lot of times you can kind of figure out what's going on from there. But shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 423, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Mr. Logan. This is Ken. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing all right. I just wanted to run a few things past you real quick. First of all, that segment you had earlier about Hillary Clinton denying the election and all that, I'd like to add to that, if I'm not mistaken, she also was the one that had the, that fake dossier, to steal a dossier on Trump, but also was the one who started that rumor. She said to be the one who started that rumor. Let me turn my TV down a little bit. That Obama wasn't born in America.
Yes, I remember that very, very well because when I was watching the campaign in 2007, 2008, when I was still on the left, I remember her saying that. I remember it came from her campaign. Rahm Emanuel or somebody in her campaign put that out there, and then Trump ran with it like 2 or 3 years later. Then it became a thing that was attributed to him, but in reality, it was not him.
That's what I thought. I heard that earlier today, but I wanted to hear it from you because I trust your judgment on this. Also, I want to get your opinion on something. I was thinking about that case earlier about that scandal about the young boy at the I think it's the Washington Redskins football game. Yeah, you remember he had the face paint, one half red, one half black, and he had the chieftain headband dress on.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about that earlier, and what confuses me about woke and woke culture is that they find that offensive. okay, they can label that as cultural appropriation, blackface, red face, whatever, but they don't seem to find any offense if a child was to wear Disney merchandise like a backpack, some clothing that had a character of color on it, say like Pocahontas and a Native American like dress, or Asian character like Mulan and her Asian, get up, traditional get up. They don't seem to find that to be culturally appropriating or Asian face or people of color, any kind of face. Why do you think that is?
Well, that's a really good question, actually. I think it's because when you buy their merchandise and they can get a taste of the profit, then it's all good. But if you make your own Indian headdress at home, well, we can't make any money on that. We can't sell you a movie and make billions of dollars off of you that way. So that's not okay. But buy our merchandise. Buy these bunny ears, buy this Elsa outfit, the Halloween outfits from the store that are officially Disney licensed. Buy that stuff all day. Wear it on Halloween. Wear it whenever you want to wear it. We can make money on it. That's a really good question.
Thank you. And I thought about it also because I'm sure you remember a while back there was that woke scandal with emojis where it doesn't bother me that there's racial diversity in emojis because, let's face it, not everybody's yellow like the Simpsons,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine with that, but it got weird. It's like, well, we can't let white people use the black emojis. That's going to be racist. Like, you're worrying about things that are like not really that big of a deal. You're over worrying. So with those arguments they already had in place, I thought it was kind of weird. And not only that, one more thing about the face paint. If that same kid showed up to the next game that they say he's supposed to show up to, the rumors are where he's supposed to have good seats at the next game like he had at the previous one with all the scandal to it. If he showed up with the colors of the Palestinian flag on, would any of those same people have anything to complain about?
Not a bit. He can have, matter of fact, the full Palestinian, the headdress from over there, face paint, flags, colors, whatever he wanted, it'd totally be fine. Totally be fine. Yep. And it's a double standard because, okay, I can have on this cultural outfit and this cultural everything, but I can't have on that one. So what's the difference? Again, just a double standard.
I thought so too. I really do. Well, Mr. Logan, thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate your insight on daily topics, and I will continue to watch your show regularly.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
That's some really good questions there. I thought he was going to go down the road of the LGBT with the first question, but he was talking about, hey, like, why is it not a problem when they wear the merchandise? Why is it not a problem? Why can't, okay, you could wear a Mulan t-shirt, a Elsa, Frozen, Let It Go. You can wear that Halloween and it's fine. But the moment I just go at my house and create an Indian headdress or a native headdress, or I get it from my granddad, when my pop gives me his native headdress and I wear it and they think that I'm a white guy and I'm culturally appropriating, you got some full-grown 40-something-year-old man writing hit pieces on me on Deadspin. Like, what's going on with that? If I go to the store and buy an outfit and put it on, like, what is the deal? And then the whole thing with the emojis. I mean, it's just so petty. So petty. It's like, what are we talking about? Emojis? Is that what we're going to spend any of our waking moments in this life being worried about is the color of emojis? Who cares? Like, I literally do not care. It's not that big of a deal. But hey, that's where we at right now in 2023. Worried about the color of emojis, like that really matters. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And of course, you're listening to a podcast right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. 470, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Yeah, we know the thing, Anthony Brian Logan. It's called the Constitution of the United States of America.
There we go.
So how you doing today, sir? Great to hear from you.
Likewise, man. How about yourself?
Doing pretty well. I haven't gotten shot, stabbed, raped, murdered, molested, or raped in America and Atlanta. So doing pretty well. So
there we go.
Yeah, man. So I'm really happy about Javier Milei getting elected. What was it, about 4 or 5 days ago?
Yes.
The chainsaw man is going to cut through communism and socialism with a chainsaw. That's great.
I love it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's going to make Argentina great again. He's MAGA for sure. So what do you make of this guy? Do you think it's for real?
I think he is. I think he has libertarian ideals. I'm not 100% in agreement with him, but overall, I think he's great. I don't agree with any politician 100%, but I think he's great. I think one of the main things that he'll do is just get rid of all the graft, all the corruption, all the unnecessary bloat in politics and government. And this would be a good experiment, too, to see how a nation can sustain itself without this big, bloated government with all these ministries and departments and red tape and bureaucracy.
Yeah, because it's going to cut like 10, 15, 20 departments in the government.
Yes.
Oh, the Ministry of Education, which is, he said was like indoctrination, and Ministry of Gender Studies or whatever. It's a bunch of BS.
Exactly.
We don't need all that stuff. 143% inflation. That's insane.
It's crazy.
So half the country is poor, and they have all these resources, and they're being robbed of all this because of socialist government.
That's right.
That's so wrong.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't know. I hope this guy succeeds. He's really pissed off the left. That's great. What about also Geert Wilders of Holland? What do you think of him?
I like him. He's been around for a long time. I've been following him for many years. I like him.
Like overall. 5 years, I think.
Yeah, he's been around for. He's been in public life, I suppose, for a long time. I'm not sure how long he's been in office. Probably 4 to 5 years. But before that, I was watching him and observing what he was doing over there. So I like him. Definitely like him.
Well, he's 60 years old, and he's against all this immigration from the Islamic countries coming in.
Yeah, and that's really
so
that's
good.
Yes, that's really an important thing over there because they have a serious problem with that, and all you need is people to stand up against it and say, okay, we're not going to accept this into our country.
Right. Now he's one. What did he? I don't know anything about Dutch politics. I don't keep up with it. Did he win the Dutch primary election or whatever? Because he didn't win the election. He's not prime minister now. So
yeah, I don't know about that part.
I'm just curious as to know, what's going on over there with their politics and everything. So yeah, so I want him to win though. I think he'd be really good. So
right.
He'd be another like Trump of Holland, so.
Right on.
Anyway, so that's all I want to say. I hope you're doing well and wish you well. And, I'm still Ultra MAGA, America First 2020, Trump 2024. So.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Take care. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to the caller. Shout out to you guys as well. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I really, really appreciate y'all for joining, because you could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show. And shout out to you guys on the Facebook. So I really, really appreciate y'all for joining as well. Be here every live stream. I will also stream to Facebook just for you guys. All right. 773, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. How you doing?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
Thanks. I'm good. Listen, ABL, I heard from other policemen that they were going to throw the migrants out of the police stations. It's become an untenable situation. The police just couldn't do business. It became a homeless shelter in the lobbies of these police stations. Every police station became a homeless shelter. Unfortunately, here's the thing, ABL. I've been in many, many households. Gay people, straight people, foreign people, people from all countries, mixed race people and all that. Most people are good people. But, let's put the blame on where the blame belongs, which is with Biden and the Biden administration and all those Democrats who opened up the border and let all these people flood in. They let those good people that I'm talking about flood in, but they also let, murderers and thieves and the cartels flood in. You open up the floodgates and you just let everybody and anybody in. Now, in a city like Chicago, unfortunately, ABL, it was like 15, 17 degrees out the other day, 22 degrees out the other night, the last few days. It's cold here in Chicago now. It's freezing. These people, they have old people, they have young people, they have little babies, they have all kinds of people, in these police stations. Hey, you got to leave. And they push them out on the street. They're not equipped to be out on the street. They shouldn't be in the police stations either. And, a lot of these Catholic charities and all these churches, they're not really saying anything because they're overwhelmed themselves. They don't have the budget in their church to handle the amount of migrants or illegal aliens that need the help. They don't have the money, so they just stand quiet. They took a handful of people that they can help, and that's all they can do. This burden, this financial and this immigration burden, is solely on the hands of the Biden administration, which I might add, as you know, he is the most corrupt president we've ever had. He's one of the most corrupt politicians in Washington. All you have to do is look at it. Everybody can see it because the spotlight has now shined on his corruption. If he didn't become president, he could have just faded, into the politics that he was already doing and quietly, steal and bribe and do all the corruption that he's been doing. But it's apparent. It's easy to see. And, it's the same thing on the streets. Everybody knows who the drug dealers are. It's just the idea and what that house is doing. That house is selling drugs. It sells crack or whatever. Everyone can see it. It's a different thing in the court of law to prosecute them, arrest them and prosecute them and all that. That's a whole different story. But it's apparent to see. He has really done something to this country, that will affect us for years to come. As I said, you might get a few 100,000 to go back, but millions have come here. They're here to stay. It's now become a problem. It's a huge problem because, the cities don't have the budget. They just don't have the money. We don't have the money to house these people and take care of these people. The police stations can't take up the burden because here's the thing. Police stations were always known as warming centers. In the middle of winter, they would make it that, police stations are a public place, so you're able to come into this public place that's open 24 hours as opposed to a library that's open 24 hours. Libraries are not open 24 hours. But the police stations were a warming thing. But you have to leave after a while. You cannot set up house in the lobby of a Chicago police station. And they've done it in every neighborhood and every police station in the city. And everywhere in the country. This is a problem for San Francisco. It's a problem for the big cities. It's a problem for Texas. It's going to be a problem for all of you. Because they're going to, eventually disperse throughout the country. God knows what danger we're in from terrorists within our borders now, let alone the cartels and the drugs that were within our borders. And why was this all done? To get voters. That's what they wanted. They wanted to let as many people that they thought would vote Democratic to be here, and then they would work on giving them the vote later. That's why they were so bent on saying, well, you shouldn't need an ID to vote. Wait a minute, you need an ID to get a beer. You need an ID every time you walk into a place. You need an ID for everything, and you don't need an ID to vote? This is what they've done. It's been a plan. It's been a plan. They want to ruin our country, and we can't stand for it. At some point, it's people's duty to stop this nonsense. Stop the nonsense with, trans in male and female sports. You have to stop this nonsense. What's going on our college campuses is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Listen, there's an argument for Muslim and there's an argument for the Jews, although I'm personally shocked by the blatant anti-Semitism that's on our college campuses. College campuses are supposed to be the most liberal people, and they're not. They're supposed to be understanding where everybody has a point of view and everybody gets to speak, and you have the freedom of speech, and it's not like that anymore. But this whole immigration problem is a huge problem within our country. It's brought many other problems, and it's going to be a lot to, a burden to fix it. It's going to be a burden to fix it. And I don't know what you're going to do. And I'd like to see what's going to happen to some of these people. It gets cold here, ABL. That's why we would have that's why San Francisco has a bigger homeless problem than California, because the weather's better. If the weather was great, Chicago would be a different place. It's the winters, these brutal winters that, keep the homeless out of Chicago. But we're going to have a problem throughout this whole country. First you got to get Biden out of there, and then whoever is president is going to have to do something about this homeless problem and this immigration problem, because it is a problem. You now have to find more money for more mouths to feed, and that's going to be difficult. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call. Hope I didn't take too much time, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL.
All right. Fantastic call. Fantastic call. Amazing call. Shout out to you guys for being here. That will be a wrap for me. I will see you guys again on Saturday night. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern. And this is also a podcast you're listening to right now. Y'all go check it out on your favorite audio streaming platform. Just search ABL Live. I should pop right up. That's Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and many more. Y'all go check it out. And we got more super chats to get through right quick. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. Thank y'all for joining, for watching, retweeting, super chat, and whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. All right. So shout out to Lothair, who says, ABL going worldwide. You're awesome. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate y'all. I think that'll be a wrap for the super chats, and that'll be a wrap for the show. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.